Will join us or die, Master.
Your last chance.
With MakingStarWars.net.
If you're watching this, I am already dead. I leave all of my stuff to X-Wing. Thank you, X-Wing, for always being there, being a pal. Hey, how's it going? I'm alive. I was just kidding. You can't have any of my shit. It's all mine.
You
What's up,
promised me the super chats if you die, Jason.
I know.
X-Wing gets it.
That's when we would get super chats after I'm dead. They'll love you when you're dead.
That's what I'm cashing in.
Yeah.
I'm cashing in. I'm moving to the UK. Meg and Bespin and I are gonna do the trilogy cast, right?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So man, I gotta say today we have some pretty weird Star Wars news overall. I didn't use this as the featured image, but I mean,
yeah,
that lady in Cassian is pretty amazing. I just have to say, like, I'm if I was Cassian, I would be like, if she's an Imperial spy, I would just be like, look, you really need to build this Death Star. I know it's really important to you, and they're over there on Yavin, you know. Spreezy the Virgin.
You know, man, Chris, you look so much like Ben Solo in that pic. Like,
yeah, I got the mullet happening. I got the Darth Vader helmet at the back. That was like the week I saw Revenge of the Sith. I was fully.
See, I knew it, man. You got the same ears as me, but since you have great fucking hair, no one notices.
Yeah, man, I cover it like Kylo Ren. You're right.
Oh shit.
Fucking hair, man. That's the trick.
Mm-hmm. It is the trick. I used to have long vampire Lestat style locks. I don't know what happened. Probably the same thing that happened to. Oh no, it wasn't. Jude Law kept his hair, right? Jude Law kept his hair. It was the guy from Train Spotting who didn't. That really good looking dude in Train Spotting. He like doesn't have any. I think he like works at like Costco now because he lost all his hair. But he was like the other Jude Law in the 90s, you know. But we got that old Jude Law story going around, and I was gonna pull up the article, but I don't know if it's really even worth pulling up the article because it's from like a tabloid that none of us read. I don't feel like we're taking clicks or anything. It was like on Instagram, so I'm just not gonna jump down the rabbit hole. But we can still talk about it. But I can't talk about it unless I got myself a hootie tootie disco cutie, and oh, there's one now. Kind of being a bitch today, though. Hey, disco bitch. You know what? You know,
it's a lot of
yeah.
Like the sequel trilogy, it's a lot of preamble and then
perfect woman. Am I right? Sorry. No, we can't hear you, Max. We can't hear you at all. But anyways, we'll just move on. Maybe Max will talk. Maybe she won't. But if she doesn't, we'll just wonder why she has such an attitude. Why
the
she's
look
so
of Max trying to figure
up.
out how to work a computer is forever etched in my brain. I'm almost there.
Almost there. Almost coming. But you know what that means.
I'm horny. Who cares?
So sorry. I got the button. I can't stop. I can't stop it even if I want to. But yeah, so I'm gonna share a little article here. We lost Max. Max quit. Max is like, you know what? These guys are.
You had enough.
Because I've had enough. All right, so I'm gonna go over to my sister Bespin Bulletin. Bespin Bulletin isn't me, but she is my sister. The Mandalorian, Andor, and Obi-Wan panel announced for Star Wars Celebration. So. Of course, it's news. I mean, as it should be. It's like obvious news, but it's not obvious news when you have a company who sometimes doesn't take the obvious win. You know what I mean? So we do kind of fall into a funny place. We're like, oh, thank God they know what they're doing. Thank God, you know. But but before we get there, how are you doing, Chris? I forgot the audience isn't really caught up with how you've been. You're feeling a lot better now and stuff. I've been talking to you, they haven't. I sometimes forget.
And I appreciate you looking out for me, Jason. I've had a rough week, but really rough week. But you know, I tested positive, then negative, then positive, then. But yeah, definitely had the COVID, but I'm feeling much better. But yeah, I'm not trying to sound arrogant or anything, but like I'm fitter than all of you guys combined, and
you are.
It really knocked me the fuck down. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
be careful out there. You know. And if you do go out, wear a mask, and yeah, just be safe.
Yeah, dude.
I don't want anyone to go through what I went through.
I actually, honestly,
in the weirdest people, I'd wish it on.
Oh, come on! In the weirdest way, I hope you did have COVID.
Yeah,
I honestly, considering what you've gone through, and then the fact that you'll just have a little bit of time of a couple of months of immunity here. I mean, at least you get that out of it if you did have, you know what I mean, if that's what it was. And
because if this is all preamble to explosive diarrhea, bro, you're in for just horrendous fucking time.
Man. Don't say that, man. Don't say that. But, yeah, for 4 days I was down. I was I was out for 4 days. I was like, just write me off, you know what I mean? But slowly, you know, feeling better. Obviously still not 100%, but yeah, I'm doing much better than I was, 5-6 days ago.
Yeah, when you were like in the worst of what it sounded like to me, I was like, hey, the good news is Kenobi, you won't have COVID for Kenobi, right? All right, come on, live, damn you, live. I'm like trying to get the defibrillator out, the nerd defibrillator. I'm like, you have reason.
Don't let your last Star Wars be Book of Boba Fett. Don't let your last Star Wars be Book of Boba Fett.
You have more than this.
Yeah. No, but it was pretty scary. I'm not gonna lie. Well, it was pretty scary. For 3-4 days. I don't know what the fuck was happening, but yeah.
I was definitely afraid for you. I was trying not to scare you, but I was just like, go to the hospital, dude. Yeah, man. Go to the hospital.
I don't know. You guys have like gauged temperature in a different way, but 39.5 is very high. Like 40-degree temperature. It's like I don't know what. It's very, very high.
Not as easy to do that conversion when you're like stressed out. Like I had to take my kid for a COVID test at Kaiser, and they have this one little entrance, like it's like a huge Kaiser hospital, huge. This one little street in the middle of like 2 stoplights that are about half a mile a stretch a piece, and one little sign that says COVID test, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like if I had COVID and I was sick, I'd be lost. And, and same thing. Like if I had COVID and you had COVID and I was like trying to figure this shit out sick, I don't know how people do it. I would probably
if you can't take the test, then we don't have cases, Jason.
That's true.
The problem is just we only have more cases because people getting tested. It's always been there. Like,
hey,
remember that logic 2 years ago?
I like that logic. It could be whatever you want it to be. Everybody
for sure
does. I'm gonna take a poll, and if you hate me, you can vote yes. But if you don't vote, it's a vote for yes. That's the way I look at things.
For sure.
All right, Max. Can we hear you?
Yeah.
I can hear you, Max.
Oh God, you scared me.
Hell yeah, I did, Max. I'm on my 3rd cup of coffee.
Again.
Yeah, you like it. So how
are
you
eating coffee now that he can't eat food?
It's
gone through that phase.
Yeah. Oh, I've been through that phase since the first day, dude. I never stopped. I spoiled the shit out of Kenobi because I was like, oh, I can't stop writing.
Yeah.
Fuck typos. Don't care. Gotta keep going. Never look
at
back.
that. Look at that.
I'm just saying, like, when I watched Sonic, I was obviously wearing a mask, but I only took it off when I was like taking a piss. So I really don't know how I caught it, but yeah, just be safe.
Well, they say the mask doesn't protect you; it protects others. So that's what they say. That is how the whole mask working works. So there was some asshole probably not wearing a mask properly, but when you get in a movie theater, it's almost a game that we pretend that we are protected when we sit down with our mask on and we remove it to shove popcorn in our mouths for the next hour and a half. I mean, at that point, it's like we are all in a room without a mask. I mean, and I'm not glad you got it, but it's been a good reminder for me because as the world goes on to pretend like we're not in the pandemic still, it's kind of easy to start falling into to become a sheeple, start falling in line, you know what I mean? But to go like, oh, it's over, it's everything, and it's really not. So
Yeah.
But hopefully we're on the tail end of it, That's where I'm at with this.
I hope so.
But so should we get on to a little bit of the Andor news?
Sure.
10 more years.
Shut up.
Every
Don't
time
say
I keep
that.
going, can't get worse.
I honestly I think civilization is pretty much just giving up on the weak now. I think they're pretty much like, you can protect yourself the best you can. You're on your own now. I mean, that's what it seems like. It's unfortunately, I don't like that, but that's where we seem to be because our culture, the Western culture anyway, and probably the rest of the East as well, but they don't really give a shit, So, the Mandalorian, Andor, and Obi-Wan Kenobi panel announced for Celebration. So that means during Celebration, what was that? There will actually be something to pay attention to. So today, this is my friend Bestman Bulletin writing this. Today, Lucasfilm officially announced a singular panel that will showcase Obi-Wan Kenobi, Andor, and the Mandalorian. Okay, so I gotta say right now, look, Lucasfilm took to StarWars.com. I see what he's doing. He's thinking of me right there. He wants to write Star Wars. I can tell. Mandalorian filmmakers with special guest in attendance. So in the big picture here, if this panel isn't about 3 hours, it's going to be a very action-packed panel, meaning that they're not saying shit about shit. Panel's what, 45 minutes usually?
Yeah, about that.
Classically. So 15 minutes for Andor, 15 minutes for Kenobi, and 15 minutes for Mandalorian? Is that what we're looking at here? Unless it's like a 2-hour panel. I mean, maybe they're doing it different this year with COVID. Maybe they're not wanting to bring people in and out. I don't know, but I'm of the opinion that if you're doing the panel, you just don't fucking care about COVID anymore at all anyway. So Star Wars Celebration returns in May, launching with a must-see showcase that will kick the weekend's festivities into hyperdrive on Thursday, May 26th. Lucasfilm's current crop of live-action filmmakers will be joined by special guests to discuss the many Star Wars adventures coming soon, including Obi-Wan Kenobi, Andor, and The Mandalorian. Lucasfilm gave no additional details, but seeing as the panel is focusing on live-action projects coming soon, I believe we'll be getting more than just information on Kenobi.
Hold on. When they say coming soon, we should just put an asterisk. Because everything's tenuous, or what's the word I'm thinking of with Lucasfilm? Like
tentative.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, it's tantive 4. Everything's tantive 4. Until shit's actually on screen.
And I'm with you, man. I was a tantive 4 guy my whole life, and then they're like, it's the tantive VVV. I don't know how they say it. They say it some crazy fucking way now. I'm over it. I don't care. Fuck that ship. I hope it blows up. I hope Princess Leia dies and the Empire reigns. If Cassian's that lady from Cassian is a bad guy, I'm on her side.
I'm just saying, Carrie died and fascism's taking over everywhere. So.
Hope. Bob Hope. Think about it. We had Bob Hope, fascism held back. Bob Hope dies, it rises. Carrie dies, it rises. Lucasfilm gave no additional details, but seeing as the panel is focusing on live-action projects coming soon, I believe we'll be getting more than just information on Kenobi, Andor, and Mandor. Andor and Mandor. Hey, you're watching Andor and the Mandor in the morning. Creator of the Mandalorian is rumored.
I wanted to call it Handor.
Handor. Oh man,
we know what your
head
head
sent me. Yeah, the old Handor job. Creator of the Mandalorian is rumored to be producing the High Republic series, more like the high school series. Am I right? Grammar Rodeo, working title, which is set to begin filming in June. So perhaps an official announcement on the series. What? So he's got a bit of the Jason Wards today. Fellow Mando producer Dave Filoni is hard at work writing Ahsoka. Gonna say he's actually done, friend. He is done. What's kind of funny is there's a picture going around this week. I know a bunch of people went in for costume fittings for Andor. I know that they filmed some. Sorry, for Ahsoka. Costume fittings for Ahsoka. There's too many of these fucking Andor, Mandor, Crandor,
It's okay.
Bryan Cranston. No, it's all the same.
Next. He's gonna be on the show.
He's gonna be in a Star Wars production.
He's on the list.
Look at little Cassian right here with this broken window. You ever heard of the broken windows theory? It's if you break a window in a bad neighborhood, then everybody thinks you could break a window in a bad neighborhood. So maybe if we fix this window, we can fix Andor.
He's gonna be Wilter White.
Wilter White of the Wills.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good show.
Chapachawa.
Yeah,
we need to get Filoni. Can Filoni do a cameo so we could get him to do that?
Hey, Filoni, say Chapachawa, please.
No, I can't do that. Chapachawa.
How much for Filoni to wear his stupid hat and to take it off and go Chapachawa, my lady, and put it back on? How much for that? I'd pay a lot.
How
much?
like probably like 60.
I'd give him a whole cup full of midi chlorians to make that happen. You know?
Ooh.
What?
Oh, midi chlorians. Just last week, Andor star Adria Arjona. It's Adria, right? Adria Arjona. Adria. Last week, Adria Arjona, Morbius Pacific Rim job, revealed to Screen Rant that she would be in attendance at Star Wars Celebration, telling the outlet, "Oh, I'm going." What if she sounded like that though? I could look past it. When asked about the event, which perked my interest up, as I had previously heard a number of weeks ago that a trailer or teaser trailer for Andor is currently being worked on and could be released at the event.
Hold on,
What?
Chris, is that true?
You're
You're the trailer guy.
You're the trailer guy.
True? Is there
you know what?
an Andor trailer?
I'm going to bring something for Celebration, so we'll probably get an Andor. And I trust Bespin. You know, I don't have beef with him like you do, but we're definitely not getting an Obi-Wan trailer. I'll tell you that.
And Chris, you agree with me that the Ewan announcement counts as a trailer, right?
Oh, definitely not. No, fuck no.
Okay, we did it.
Oh, sorry.
That was as passionate a kiss as when Demi Moore tried to kiss that guy in Ninja Master 1. Right?
Ninja Master 1.
Yeah,
So,
it's a thing.
So Bestman goes on to say, I always like to be transparent with my readers, so I'll add that I only heard this from a singular source, hence why I did not run it as its own story and was hoping to get more confirmation, but if I do, then I'll be sure to let you know. Yeah, I mean, this is like one of those things. Like he didn't make this the story. This wasn't like, so I'm not gonna like really make fun of him. You know what I mean? I love you, Bespin. I'm not gonna make fun of you, but I am gonna say no shit, Sherlock. I love you. I love you, Bespin, but no shit.
I don't think we could look. I'm one to pick a fight with the guy, but
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, you hate his guts.
It just feels so fucking weird that just any confirmation of basic shit is a story. Like with them, like seriously, like if they were like, "Hey, we're actually gonna Lucasfilm to actually release a poster for a movie," would be shocking to me. Like, wow, they're really gonna do it. They're gonna put a poster out. Will it look like a real? Then it wouldn't look anything like a Star Wars poster. It's like,
well, like me and Bespin, we'll spend 8 hours working on something in a day. That's nothing to do with the article, with the story, with the piece. And then some fuckhead will come out and go, "Oh, I'm hearing," and we'll literally get the same reward. You know what I mean? Traction in terms of followers, in terms of revenue earned for just saying, "I'm hearing."
Well, I'm hearing.
It's like, yeah, you have 2 fucking ears. You hear a lot of fucking bullshit, you idiots. But like that's what
I hear all the bullshit.
No, but that's that's where I'm like, is this nerd culture? Because that implies we're intelligent. I think we're just fucking a bunch of basic. It's Star Wars is basically basic bitch culture. when you get down to it. A bunch of basic bitches with no critical thinking skills, no ability to ascertain what's true or quality information whatsoever. And
so you're saying when he puts up a story like this, it's basic Bespin culture. Right?
Basic Bespin. Basic Bespin. Well, basic Bespin is basically great. So I wish we were basically Bespin culture.
Can I be honest about something?
Yeah.
Yeah, look, this doesn't really tickle my pickle as much as I hope it would. Like, I was hoping for like some announcements of some future products that are projects that have not been announced, like Taika's movie or Rogue Squadron or some future unannounced movie. Like, we know we're getting this, and we're getting all this in a few months. So, give me something new that we don't know anything about. Like, yeah. Then my pickle would definitely be tickled, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, no movie to announce. I'm telling you right now.
So watch this whole Star Wars celebration be like nothing, like April Fools next year, guys.
Next year.
Rob, you really think that they don't have any movie to announce?
No.
Okay.
Should we bet on it?
No.
Yeah, I really think that.
No, here's where I agree with Rob, but where Rob is right and Rob is also wrong at the same time. It's called the dichotomy of man.
Schrodinger's Rob.
No, is that it? The truth is that if they needed to, they could probably pull 4 movies out of their ass tonight, and have them in production tomorrow, ready to go if they needed to. If Bob Chapek said, "Hey, guess what? I'm gonna get real mad if you don't do this, and I'm not gonna get fired from my job. You can't fire me." Then and they had to do it. They could literally do it. So could they do a Lucasfilm or the future of Lucasfilm panel? Will they? They probably will. They should. I don't know if they will. They should though. But could they? Yes. But the question is, will it any of that content actually fucking happen? I mean, at the celebration in 2016, I was there for the Rogue One. I saw that Rogue One trailer that was like the Death Star and stuff. And they made a Boba Fett one that was supposed to be shown with it. Trank was fired just before. Like the weekend of, he was, pissing on his set or shitting on his set, depending on who you ask, and fired for it. Yeah, I respect it though. I'm all about that. That's fucking punk rock. If studios gonna take your film, fucking shit all over it like you're a dog, is what I say.
We need the shitters full as one of your little clips. Shitters full.
Shitters full, man. We also need a dishes are done. Anyways,
That's
but
a good one.
it's a great one. But no, so they they ended up with got 50% of that panel. Really, that panel was only a 50% panel, and then only half of it actually ended up happening. And now it's kind of happened. We got a TV show out of Boba. It eventually happened, but just gonna throw it out there. It's a bit risky, and I don't really see a big win in it for them though to go out there and say, here's what Rogue Squadron is going to be in our pipe dream version of it at this point.
Yeah, they don't know what it is.
Well, okay. So I'm just gonna throw it out there. I can't say anything. There are things going on that I forgot to tell you about because we keep getting started a little bit later.
That's kind of funny.
So I don't know if stuff's going on for like Rogue Squadron or not, but things are happening. There are things happening. There are things going on. And I don't know what's going on, but I know things are going on.
Do you think it's Taika's movie, Jason, or do you think it's like?
I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on. So that's what I'm saying. So don't we can't taint it. So let's not get into anything, Mr. Spreezy. I don't want to give I don't want to give some fucking guy who does kung fu on his Twitter account option to go, oh, I'm hearing, you know what I mean? That fucking loser.
Oh man.
But where I'm going with this is that there are movies. There's movies that nobody knows about. There's movies and they could literally start moving on that stuff if they want to. But you got the grammar rodeo, right?
I could
you got Ahsoka
right now, but I hurt my arm.
Well, this panel,
working out.
this panel is like Also, I need an animation of him shooting this right here of squirting, and whenever I have a scoop, I want it to say squirt, squirt. That'd be
Put your
great.
face on it.
Yeah, squirt my face out of it.
And then Gustavo Fring goes, "It's pretty good."
Pretty good, man.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Here's like the actual. Is this
words
the
very
actual
carefully.
article? Oh god, that little weirdo. One time I tried to talk to that little weirdo on the internet one time, and she fucking went all crazy. Barry Sophie's my favorite character. How dare you mansplain? I'm like, mansplain? I'm just talking about the fucking difference between fucking the cartoon version and the comic version. That's not mansplaining, you fucking psycho.
Seriously?
Oh yeah, these people are all fucking nuts. They're all fucking. I'm nuts too, but they're fucking nuts. Anyways, Star Wars Celebration returns in May. I just want to see what the official thing says on Thursday.
I made Star Wars, and I don't dress up in a robe and walk around a convention all the fucking time. You think about that.
Lucasfilm's current crop of live-action filmmakers will be joined by special guests to discuss the many Star Wars adventures coming soon, including Obi-Wan Kenobi, Andor, and The Mandalorian. So what is interesting about this is they're calling this this is the coming soon panel, right? And Max,
Sorry,
fuck, are you
sorry.
serious? Max?
Every joke, Mac.
Who cares?
Yeah,
Come
and
Not every joke.
Okay. You're kidding, Max. I wanted to hit the button. Yeah, but so they're calling this the coming soon panel, and when you look at it, coming soon to them means shit we've already filmed. Kenobi, Andor, and Mandalorian. You know what I mean?
Yeah, things we can't cancel.
Meg's
I don't
being
mean like
nasty
on the
with me.
internet way. I just mean like in the Lucasfilm way, you know.
Order your celebration tickets, blah blah blah. Returns, yeah. So they don't really say how long the panels. They don't say how long it's going to be. So we have no idea what the breadth of this panel will be. And if we just give it, I think an hour. I mean, I don't think they usually have like 2-hour panels or hour and a half long panels. I think the panels were usually like 45 minutes to an hour. And so I thought
they were
leave a
still
lot.
out of the tickets.
Nah, that's a fucking thing that they do. I also think that the initial thing was probably based on projections. Back when they cared if you died of COVID or not, they were like, we can't have that many people in. And then the governor is just like, oh, I don't care. I'll do whatever it takes to be cool with everybody. Okay, yeah. So they're just upping it. I mean, that's probably what happened. But yeah, you can buy tickets today. I saw tickets today for sale.
Robert Rodriguez's panel is only 28 minutes though, so it's
well, it over delivers. It over delivers. That panel does.
If you walked up there and just spoiled Rogue Squadron, you know, I'd be like, bravo. He's like, I'm gonna do a full press. He just goes up there and spoils the next project, you know. Like, go complain about this now, so you stop talking about my show.
Old Azatru says smash the like button because he's like a real successful YouTuber, so he says smash it.
Lick it.
Not lick it like me and Max.
lick it.
Me and Max are usually say lick it. You know,
like
finger it.
Look, the last time I licked the internet, I caught QAnon for a week. You don't want that.
It's true, but I mean, you did bust that cabal. It turned out they were all innocent.
I got a little dick now. It's pathetic. It was like that for a whole week.
Oh, but by the way, Azatru makes really has a lot of good Lego Star Wars videos. We got it yesterday, which is why we didn't do a show. Which is why I was a very irresponsible parent. I got the kids up ready for school, and my son, I'm like, what do you want for breakfast? And he's just like, not hungry. I'm like, why aren't you hungry, dude? He's like, I'm just so excited. I'm like, yeah. What do you? Oh, for Star Wars, for Lego Star Wars. He's like, yeah. And he's like, I could probably eat some pancakes though. I'm like, well, you want me to take you out and get you pancakes? He's like, yeah, I think from McDonald's. And I'm like, but you can't eat cereal or toast or something. He's like, no, definitely not. I'm too excited. And then I'm like, all right.
That kid is gonna have a real dangerous 20s. Like, I'm just telling you, like, if you can't find a way to teach him some self-control now, him 20s is going to be tough, Jason. Like,
Yeah, well,
you know, like,
that's
you
when you
remember when it was like, I can eat whatever I want now. No one can stop
no
me.
one can stop me. Well, no. His thing is he's the kind of kid who will just go putty. What was that, Spreezy? It sounds like he's getting remixed. That's some dubstep, Spreezy.
No, I'm just listening to what you guys are saying.
Oh, okay. I just heard some sweet 808 beats coming out of your side.
Oh.
Anyways, so then I'm like, all right. I'm like, so everybody did their homework, all homework's done. We're like doing that check and stuff. And then he does this. I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, I can't even concentrate. How am I supposed to go to school? And here's the thing though. This isn't a game. He's been asking for the game for 2 years. And then he looks at me and he goes, you have to understand. I've been waiting for this game for 2 years. And I'm only 8. And I was like, shit. I was like, when
that
you put
kid
it that
just
way,
made more sense than any of us at that age. Like, that's some Doogie Howser shit right there.
right? And I'm like, that's just math. And then I'm like, okay. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, let's go and see if we could get pancakes and get you to school on time. We go, and it's just we go out to the McDonald's line. It doesn't look good. And I'm like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the pancakes because we're gonna stay home. We're gonna go get the game. We're gonna play it all day. But if one teacher calls me that somebody has a stomach ache between now and the end of school, I'm not answering it. No,
Do they
no
shut
fake.
Do they shut the pancake valve off now at 10 like they used to with the breakfast, or
Well, I'm going to tell you the truth, unlike my son. The truth is you can't get everything from the McDonald's breakfast menu all day. But I think you can get like hot cakes. Just the deluxe breakfast? No. The hot cakes? Yes. At least at ours.
All day?
Yeah, all day. But I told him, but
Max. Don't do it, Max.
No, Max. No, Max.
That's
I was kidding, Max. No, Max. Not all day.
Them hotcakes are literally the highest calorie item they have on the menu.
Hey, I went crazy
So
when they started, or at least here you can buy the Egg McMuffin all day.
Yeah. So anyways, we drive down to Best Buy because thought I was a genius and I was buying the steelbook version. I'm like, he cares about this game a lot. Like I knew he cared about it a lot. He asked for it for like two Christmases. He asked for that. Like that's what he wanted. Like I literally could have not got him an Oculus Quest 2 for Christmas. And it could have just got him that game if it was out. I could have saved myself like $200. But anyways, I'm like, so he would have been just as happy. But so we go down there and I think Best Buy opens up at 11 a.m. As we're driving there, I get a text message from them saying your order's not ready, and it's not going to be ready. we don't know what that means. So I'm like, this is some bullshit.
You're in LA.
Yeah.
Like,
well, so what happens is I get down there. I'm like, there's a fucking line.
Mm-hmm.
I see all of these stupid assholes with no mask on, and me and my kids, we all have our mask on. And when one of them started, I was like, hey, I was that dad. I'm like, hey, keep your distance, even though I know it's probably a facade at this point. It's so contagious.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, but I didn't prepare for this. Kind of caught up. So we keep our space, pretty free. But what ends up happening, what's funny is the Best Buy guy comes out there and checks out the line, and he's like, if you're in line just to buy general stuff, if you're a pre-order buyer, be in this line. If not, everybody, you guys could go in. Those people go in, and then he's like, everybody here is here for Lego Star Wars, and my son's like, I'm here for it. And the Best Buy manager sees my kid, comes over, he's like, you ready, man? And my kid's like, yeah, I'm ready. And then I tell him,
He's
I'm like,
hyping your kid up.
yeah. And I'm like, well, look, I'm like, dude, I pre-ordered. I got a thing saying he's all so. Well, here's what happened. We didn't get the steelbook cases yet. He's like, we're gonna call you. It's gonna be a separate order, and then you're gonna get the steelbook later. And I'm like, okay, fine. but I'm like, at this point, I just need a game. And then my kid like looks at him, and then he's all how excited are you, man? And he gives him the whole spiel. I'm only 8, and I've been waiting for 2 years for this. Is what he tells him. And he's like, all right,
got
come
him
on.
pancakes. So.
But there were people. He takes us in, and we walk out with the game before they've even let the line in for it. And my kid has it. And there's these fucking dudes that are like 26 years old, but I've been here since 7 a.m. This is bullshit. And I'm just like,
the most entitled generation of assholes ever.
The comedy of it is, who fucking cares? They
can get the digital version. Yeah, I don't understand.
But it's like, who ultimately, who cares? Like, I was the first one from the Best Buy at the Lakewood Mall where Tupac was kind of shot in a way.
As your son's walking off going like this.
Yeah, my son's like, fucking Tupacarelli, bitch.
He should have come out like Spock at the episode 1 premiere when he was like with Triumph the dog, right?
Does it ever blow your mind that fucking Spock directed 3 Men and a Baby?
Did he?
No.
Yeah,
he did. Yeah, he did.
So
he did. It doesn't blow my mind though.
Blows my mind.
What I love is that he not only did he, co-write and direct Star Trek 4, but he purposefully set out to make a film that would never have been made before. So Kirk doesn't get the girl. At the end, there's live action credits where you see all the actors. Like, he did everything that they could never do in an episode of Star Trek or a movie. Is that movie? Like, there's no big battle. There's no fighting at the end. Doesn't help anything. Like, that's what I love about Leonard Nimoy doing shit like that.
Scared me.
Whoa, Spreezy, you're getting too excited there about the Star Trek guy.
I don't know what's going on because I'm literally sitting here minding my own business,
listening
to you guys, and I don't know where you're getting this sound.
Yeah, I think
the Russians are trying to. The Russians see Virgin in your title, and they're just like, we got to infiltrate.
Right.
we can recruit some.
I don't know what the hell's going on because there's no TVs on. I'm just listening to you guys. But
it's okay. I'm just fucking with it. It is.
Raylo fans love your pick, Spreezy. That's what it is.
Oh shit! Like little Kylo.
There he goes.
Oh wait, hey, come back. So Star Wars Make says the Lego game is awesome. So for most of yesterday, my kids eventually got mad at me for being on my phone for while I wasn't playing. They were like mean little girlfriends, if you will. So so I put that shit away, and I was like, okay, you guys got me all day. It's just me and you and the game. Let's do this. Let's get serious. We played from episode 1 all the way to Empire Strikes Back. We did half of Empire and we stopped. And that was like, it was bedtime, so we went to bed. And so I have played more than or about half the game for the most part. And so a couple of things is that I would say, in terms of what you would expect, it's perfect. And I think that's kind of the problem. I'm going to be a critical douche here. Is that it literally does not really truly further. I mean, the ability, like we got more RAM, we got more HD space, guys. But at the same time, it is a better looking version of the game from that came out 20 years ago. After playing Mario Maker and shit like that for years with my kids, I am a little bit like, this could it's a whole lot of everything. So it's definitely, and I don't mean to say it's quantity over quality. It's quantity over innovation is how I would put it.
Look, after the Nintendo 64, I never want to hear that again. But that was their mantra for the better part of 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Just take the win, though. Like, it's all you can do. If you got a lot of stuff, it's more of the same. Fine. I mean, no Lego game has really been innovative. Innovative. Darth Innovative.
Since
2004. So, they've all been. So, I mean, the best Lego content for me, in the last 15 years was her Forza Horizon 4 Lego DLC content, where you could actually drive around a Lego area. And I was like, man, I would love a full Forza Lego game, like at the scale of Forza. And I think, it would be cool if you had No Man's Sky, right? But it was a procedurally generated Lego Star Wars universe. You know what I mean?
What you're saying sounds really smart right now, but I cannot help but notice that Spreezy went and got laid in between going away and coming back. And it's fucking hot as fuck now. Look at that.
Man. It was
Patrick
that guy.
Dempsey down under, right? Yeah, he just went from Opportunity Knocks to Grey's Anatomy, like, bam.
Some people might say in that amount of time he was a two pump chump, but I'd say a 2-pump champ. That's what I'd say.
What can I say?
Nice pick.
Anyways, the game is great. It really is. It like I saw it mostly got like 8s and stuff like that, and I would say it is. It just as I was playing through it, I am, for me, I could be wrong. I'm gonna have to play this game with my kids, whether I want to or not, for like years. Right.
You've been playing Fortnite, the same game now for how many years?
Exactly. You exactly nailed it on the fucking head right now. Is Fortnite is not the same game. Fortnite every single week probably has a different mode I've never played introduced. I could play online. Me and Chris should be able to jump on right now and play the game.
Something shouldn't
online.
change too much, though, Jason. I'll give you a real good example. Smash Brothers. Just give me more content. I don't need them to change the gameplay too much.
Yeah, but can you imagine if you couldn't play Smash Brothers online in 2022? Because that's what this game just
prefer
did
to never play with people.
Okay,
online.
but
So,
you know,
yes,
yeah,
it's the best game ever. Like,
right,
the one that keeps the online off.
Right. Well,
Rob,
when my kids go to their mom's house,
years, dude.
What was that, Chris?
Smash Brothers comes out like once every 10 years. Like, doesn't come up.
No, you've had 2 games in the last 10 years, actually.
Smash Brothers. We had
a Wii U, plus then you had all the additional content on the Switch. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But my point is that me and Star Wars Meg, me and Bestman Bulletin, we should be able to get on right now and play the game together. It's fucking absurd.
Oh, 100%. There's no co-op in this game.
There is no, and then when you want to play co-op together in the same room, it does a split screen, and you can't see a goddamn thing. And here's the comedy of it is if you're like my family, which is admittedly weird, but we have 3 Xboxes. Because there's 3 of us and we all play Fortnite or Switches and stuff like that. They could have sold me 3 copies of this game if it had multiplayer on its own system and it was cross-platform. And in an era where all these kids play Fortnite and that's the standard, like, what the fuck are you doing, you jackholes?
Yeah.
Yeah, any game at this level being released on Xbox and PlayStation that doesn't have co-op, a platformer and adventure game with open world, it doesn't, you get a full point or almost 2-point drop in score for me. Like, I think a full 10 points on the Metacritic. Like, so, and I know that seems harsh, but it's bullshit.
I'm an asshole.
So go ahead.
I don't know much about games, so I'm learning all this stuff. Up to how many people do they normally allow? Or
Fortnite is usually, I think, like about you start off in Fortnite with 100 people entering into one map, and it's battle royale, and then like you'll have teams or single player stuff. But
and is this online? This is online.
Yeah, okay. Online. And Fortnite is by far the Star Wars of this kid generation. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, and like literally, Fortnite will go away, and when we're all about 60, we're gonna see Fortnite come back big. As all these people are like, I want to play Fortnite with my kids.
Who's
like,
60?
Yeah, eventually, a good 40, 50 years for you. But it was to not have basic like Fortnite functionality is a big loss for me as far as I am concerned. Yeah. It's a big dumb mistake. Also, like here's the other thing about it. So like I said, there are people that are super jazzed, not trying to take away from it, but also we should point out, we should critically assess the games for their wins and their like losses.
Mhm.
And the game will do things like they made a Jedi Starfighter, but then I'm flying a Naboo Starfighter in the story when I'm supposed to have like a Jedi Starfighter.
Mhm.
Why? And then all of a sudden I'm playing a Jedi Starfighter. I'm like, that's just an error. There's like errors in the game like that occur.
Mhm.
They made 300 characters, but then they omit characters from the story and have other characters play them, when it's just like you could just tell what really happened was they hadn't made Jocasta new yet. And they did the cinematic stuff, and then they just left it as somebody else. Stuff like that I just find to be a little bit annoying. If you're going to have 300 characters, I would expect the cinematics to have that. I get it's a truncated story. I get the format for it. But when you have all of that content, all of those models made, and then you don't do that, to me, I consider that to be kind of a loss, especially when the cinematic side of it is already kind of laid out for you.
Mhm.
It's not very hard to spoof a movie that's been around for over 20 years, for the most part. I get on the later ones, it could be a little bit more difficult. Things haven't become memeable yet necessarily. Also, we'll do, what was it? Just like a couple of things where it will repeatedly do the same joke for me like 3 times in a row. A couple of like the more like memeable stuff.
To
like
be fair,
Sam.
we do that, Jason.
There's a joke.
So-
There's
yeah.
jokes in this.
But if I had 5, the game is like a retelling of Star Wars with a slight spoof angle.
So is it kind of like the Lego shows?
Yeah,
A little bit?
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, it's not really, like I said, it's not really like the fact like Jocasta News not in the library stuff, right? Not really a big fucking loss. It's kind of sort of a so what. But when you get down to the big angle is, you get there's only over 300 characters.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird that the ones that's weird that when they truncate it for me. Not a big deal. I don't want to make it sound like that's a bigger deal than it is. But once you get into the game too, it does weird things like, here's how to fly a ship. And then you move on from that. You don't really fly the ship. You go on to the story. And I'm like, why did you just teach me that? Like, what the fuck? Why did I need to learn that now? It's I find some of the things just to be very like kind of strange about it.
Uh-huh.
But ultimately, like the big deal to me, like I said, is the lack of online and the lack of like, for instance, if it just had some sort of creator and an online capabilities, they would have a never-ending money-making machine, and they are, I don't know, too
Well, it goes to
stupid
show you
to
that
see it. I don't get it.
When as it true, and then we're talking about, a lot of the stuff behind the scenes, and we read that whole article too, that this is a older company that has just been like running the same tech for as long as they possibly can, and they've never updated their ability to do netcode. I mean, the one thing you could say about EA is they're so focused on yearly releases of multiplayer online games that's some shit they got in the bag. But these other companies kind of don't, or they don't want to pay for the bandwidth and all the infrastructure, whatever's going behind it. And that's just one of those things, man, that I just feel like that's why Disney should and Lucasfilm should have a dedicated games department for stuff like this, because they would put the infrastructure in and see it long term. When you're just licensing something that you're probably going to lose or might have the chance to lose or not renew in 2 years, or you keep owing a licensing fee, then they're going to cut a corner wherever they can. And so then they're like, oh, couch co-op. Yo, bro, it's fucking COVID time. This ain't, what I mean? Like,
No.
It's COVID time, dude. And it's like, and even then, couch co-op for what? 2 people? Where's the 4-player fucking thing? You know what I mean? Where's the shoot to my screen? I could play over here. I don't know, man.
Without getting like too specific too. Like my kids, they have a lot of friends, but one of their more favorite friends, I would say, that if they want to hang out with the most, has parents that don't believe COVID's real. Even though people are dying, they think it's just people dying of flu. That like they're like, they're on the wave 1 of bullshit discourse. They just heard that, they're good, they don't care. And so it's like it's kind of fucked, because I try not to be like, you can't hang out with that kid. I hate to punish the kid, but my kids are really like, I'm like pretty hesitant about when they play together at this time. those reasons. And
Mm-hmm.
for the record, they've been sick twice, and it's just fucking stupid.
The
But
parents.
The whole family has gotten sick twice, but they're a little on the younger side, so it's not as bad. They just spread it around and kill everybody else. Not the kid's fault, but my son was mentioning playing the game with them, and I'm like, oh no. But that's when it occurred to me, had there been online co-op, I would literally would have just bought the game for the fucking kid. You know what I mean? I would have been like, here's a gift. You got to play online now. Like, and during 2022,
Especially during
when
this
this game was in development during the thick of this shit. So it's not like it just snuck up on us and we didn't know.
Yeah.
You know, but I'll
Just play
also
online co-op on Xbox 360 for the Crackdown 1. You know,
Yeah.
and if I didn't have that online co-op, I never would have beat the game because it wasn't fun by yourself. But with the buddy, you know, it was fun. Especially there's so many fucking glitches in that game, but it was fun even with the glitches. It was so like, this is just unacceptable. I just feel for AAA gaming, you can't call yourself a AAA fucking game, and have a big open world with couch co-op. You know, like Crash didn't have a multiplayer component at all. There was no split screen you know, so if it's a single player game, fine. But if you got any multiplayer and you got an adventure game you can't do some kind of co-op on, it's just bullshit. I mean, Nintendo doesn't help with this. Nintendo doesn't help. You know, like I still think people try to justify it behind the scenes. Well, Nintendo doesn't. No, my ain't fucking Nintendo.
Oh no,
you know? Like, we gonna go back
to
friend codes too.
No,
Like,
yeah, that shit's all very annoying. But when my kids go to their mom's house and mom's busy and they need parental attention, we are able to jump on Mario Party together and play Mario Party together in 2022. We do it all the time, and it's like, you know. But Lego Star Wars is that game it does not have that ability. It would be great if they said, you know what, that was a mistake and they added it in the future. Like if they did, if it's not too late, I hope they would do something like that. But big mistake on their part, you know. So yeah, on Meg's video today, I don't know if she saw it if she's still here, but Meg, when we watched your video before school today. They try to get out of school again. They're like, can we stay home and play more Lego Star Wars? I'm like, no. But we watched Meg's video today, and she talks about how you will find these little kids just eating ice cream in the game, like in the Jedi Temple, and Meg goes and kills them. Her delivery is just so perfect in her video, and she it was so good. But my kids were laughing so hard they rewound it. They had tears in their eyes. I was like, it was pretty funny, but they thought it was really funny. So home run, Meg, on that one.
That's cute.
But
did anybody ask why? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. why your kid was out of school?
I didn't make that call. I didn't make that call. I left that up. I told their mother, listen,
okay.
You have been a vessel for my children. You let me put many babies in you, and you're welcome. But today, me and my soldiers are going off into the wild, and we're going to bring back a video game. Do not bother us, and you may contact the school about our whereabouts today. And she was like, okay, that's cool, you weirdo. And she did.
Yeah.
So
No,
that's pretty
I'm
nice.
just fucking with you.
So I don't know what she
It's
said.
nobody's business.
She probably said they're ditching to play Lego Star Wars. She's pretty honest about that stuff. me, I'm like, our cousin Louie got COVID and he called me and I felt like I should get tested before they go to school. She's just like, no, they're playing video games. No Ochi, which means it's a crap game.
it's a Nochi.
No, it's a Nochi. Nochi Wawa. Yeah,
Well, it's too easy, Batsman.
No, I have to. I gotta say it is a pretty big oversight because he is a character who murders Rey's parents. Is mentioned on screen. It's a big character to. It's weird that we're getting like, you know, I don't know, like some rando. Oh, you know what pissed me off? You know what fucking pissed me off is 300 fucking characters, right? And I'm playing A New Hope last night. I get to the bar, no wooer. No wooer.
That's
what
unacceptable.
What the fuck? How anybody said the game is a 9 or a 10 and didn't get that guy? I mean, come on. Like you can't fuck with iconic things. Like, you know, that was just weird to me. But so anyways, but it's the game. When I played the original Lego Star Wars when it came out back in the day, which is probably like the last one I really enjoyed. I was like, whoa, this is strangely fun. I didn't see this one coming. This game, you know, this is the best Revenge of the Sith game they made, strangely. That was like my review at the time. But when I remember the game, you know what the graphics look like? The graphics in the game I just played. Not because they were actually that good back then, because I don't remember bad graphics. I just, my mind upscales everything to the current generation. And then I go back to play a game and I go, this is like garbage. But so when I'm playing this,
I announced Spyro,
the
Spyro remake. You know, I was announcing, hey, you know, I'm a concept artist on Spyro. What do they need you for?
Yeah,
like,
what?
I don't know if you're aware. The original game looks like origami in 480p. Like I don't know. You kind of has to be rethought up, you know, a little bit.
I think you should do. I think you should do a Spyro origami and take a picture and go, yeah. What do you think I was doing?
You're about 4 years too late, Jason.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm here for the next one, but next one I'm here to help. No, so there is shit in the game where it's like, you know, it does that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? No wooher, no Ochi. And it's like, does a kid really want to play the game as Wooher? No. But does he have a line in the fucking movie? And do you actually have a character saying the line in the game? Yes. That's what I think. That's where I think the line is. If the character has a line, says a line, they probably earned it. Yeah. Even though it's like, and it's iconic droid. Your droids, they're not welcome here, or whatever he says. I said it wrong. I fumbled the line after calling it iconic. Shows what I know. But yeah, and then Junkbox says Ochi could be in one of those DLC packs eventually. Yeah, I also fucked that up too. I didn't buy the pack, the game with all of the stuff, and I bought the standard edition, not realizing it because I bought the steelbook version, and I had to go drop the $20 or what, $14.99 on the content, the other content that we're not even going to use probably for months. But yeah, I don't know. I'm glad everybody's happy. Like, can that be my actual review, my actual impression? Yeah. I'm glad everybody's happy. But I am too big of an asshole to be like standing ovation. I don't think they earned it. I don't think that's a standing ovation. I'm glad the game happened. I'm glad a bunch of people had work. I'm glad the game does everything it should do at a very base level. But for me to go like, wow, this is, something. No. But there is this weird thing where like you could like force manipulate like pipes and make them crumple up, and it doesn't look like it belongs in the game. It looks like it belongs in a Tim Burton animation or something. I love it. It's fucking wacky though. But it looks crazy. I love how it looks, but I'm like, what is this? It just looks like it's like, I don't know, clay metal or something. It's fucking bizarre. But Baymax, how's it going, dude? Says Ochi got his Mexican wrestler mask in the comics. So that's true. He did.
Did your kids like it though?
The game?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The kids are completely happy about it. It works. It's doing the job, and so I'm happy that they're happy. Obviously,
yeah.
I'm a Super Mario guy. Like that's my favorite game.
Can I just say one thing? Like, I'm not much of a gamer, but I was like devastated when they announced that Zelda will be pushed to 2023. Like, I nearly shed tears because that's like the only game I'm looking forward to. Like. And
you should be happy though. That it was delayed. Because
really? I mean,
I'm gonna give you 2 reasons why. I'm gonna give you 2 reasons why. No, I'll give you 2 reasons why. One, It's most likely that they're optimizing it for either the Switch Pro or for
Yeah,
another iteration of the Switch, or
Yep.
for a launch for a new Switch system. So
Yeah.
most likely that's the reason why.
Gotcha.
If not, this other reason would be it's because it's become more than just Breath of the Wild 2, and it'll have a completely different name, or Breath of the Wild semicolon something something, which means it's not just Breath of the Wild, but you can go up in the air and it's just more dungeons and shit. They've actually added a real campaign, which I believe is smarter, because as much as people love Majora's Mask, it's like if the timer, it was based, that game was based as like, a budgeted sequel to
That game pissed
Ocarina
me
of
off when
Time.
it came
You're
out.
getting a full adventure as opposed to a budgeted sequel.
But would you? All right, let me ask you this to you guys. Like, would you rather like a semi-budget sequel and we get it every 2 years, or do we a full-blown sequel every 6 years? Like, where's the media? Like, what do you guys prefer?
With games, I'd
Yeah.
rather they be full blown and not a budgeted.
So you don't
situation for
mind
AAA
waiting
gaming.
6 years for
No. Yeah, well, 6 years. First off, it's the 6 years thing has to do with their hardware launch problem. Like, they tend to tie one of these games now to being the last game on their previous system and the launch game for the new system.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't. So that's a something else issue. But with Nintendo, we only care about Zelda at this point and Mario and stuff because we don't get one every 2 years. You turn this into an Activision style project, and I worked on those. You're gonna get significantly smaller, less important. It's different. I feel opposite about movies and video games. Movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
With video games, because video games just they're not the same thing, and to make them fun requires a tremendous amount more effort than just pumping in content. So.
Yeah. No, I agree with you there, Rob. I do think it's going to be launched with the new Switch.
Unless it's games as a service, where if it was an online Breath of the Wild game, then you need new content all the time. If they're going to do a standalone product, then I'd rather have a 3 to 4 year cycle, 5 tops, but 4. But then Elden Ring took 6 years, bro. Sold 12 million copies, so it really just depends.
Is that bad?
That's
good. Amazing.
That's a lot of copies.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It sounds like a lot. I just wasn't sure.
It's almost $1 billion for them at launch.
Yeah. When it comes to like Zelda, like I love the first one, and I love the Super Nintendo one, and Ocarina of Time.
Yeah,
and Wind Waker was okay. Don't love it. Like it a lot. Don't love it.
The thing to remember with Nintendo is they're based out of Kyoto, which is it's a very traditional and historical part of Japan. So they never forget, is what I'm trying to say. And Nintendo and Miyamoto and them, they made a Mario 2 that was just more Mario with more content and harder.
Yeah, I beat it.
And
I beat it.
No.
I beat it.
Mario 2.
I beat it. I imported that shit. And I beat it when I was 9. Because I'm a real fucking Mario man.
Was not well received.
It sucked.
So
it was terrible. It was torture.
They learned their lesson, and they've never forgotten that sort of. They go way back then, like, that didn't work. And, well, how could you hold on to that? It doesn't work, So.
Yeah. No. That one was just bad though. It was just like how hard and fucked up can we make this shit?
Well, look at Street Fighter. Let's go back to the Street Fighter 2. Effectively, rejuvenated the arcades after the crash of the early '80s. Mm-hmm. But within 5 or 6 years, it's dead because they kept releasing a new iteration of it literally every 6 to 12 months.
Well, what I was gonna say though is that there's Zelda games that I go back to and I play. Yeah. And those were the ones that had the time that they needed. And then there's Zelda games that I go back to play and I create a new save. And then I play for about 40 minutes in that play and then never pick up again.
Can I ask why you beat that? Can I ask Chase why you didn't like Majora's Mask? Like, is there one thing that pissed you off, or you just want to tell the story, or
when it came out? I mean, it was clear. It was just like in the original Zelda when you make your name Zelda and you get like the Master's Quest. It was just a Master's Quest version of that game with a spin on it. But there was this one moment that broke me. And the moment that broke me, and I remember it well, I was in the Goron Palace, whatever you call it, the mountain. And there's this point where you got to jump on like a thing and it like you like bounce around like a pinball.
Yeah.
Me and my drummer were playing it together actually. And we were trying to do it. We were on it for like 45 minutes and maybe an hour.
Yeah.
And then finally I'm like, I fucking hate this. I fucking go on there. I put my character to think. I go to grab my beer, drinking my beer.
Yeah.
You had to let go of the controller. You had to not control it. You had to not play the game to win. It was a war game scenario. And I'm not looking for a war game scenario in the middle of a Goron mountain.
The only way to win is not to play.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It was bullshit. It broke me. Pissed me off so fucking much. I beat the game, but I'm still mad about it 20 years later.
You think you've Breath of the Wild a chance?
Oh, I love Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild's fucking
Gotcha.
perfect. Yeah, nearly perfect. It's a great
the only
game.
The only quick thing they could have done to Breath of the Wild, they could have sold me a skin pack that gave the whole thing an OG Link look, like with the model with the green robe, and
you got that, Rob. You got that at the end.
I mean, for a whole reskin of the game, new model, not just the clothes and shit. Anyway, I've been spending the last year and a half in indie games, and we're talking about instead of a group of 50 people or 100, you're going down to like 4. And so, 5, but like someone's always working at half speed, because they've overdone it. And when you start developing, in the indie side, when you start developing ideas for new games, everything kind of comes down to like this gameplay loop, and everyone's trying to find a way to like make a faster game that didn't take as much effort. Like there's always this part, I know, where they're like, oh, we could just do this, and it's this little thing, and we could get the game done in like 8 months or 12 months, right? Like everyone's trying to find a shortcut around it. And at the end of the day, you just realize, no, we just got to spend 2 years making a game. There's no way around. There's no way around that unless you're going to make these cash grab bullshit shovelware type games or make demos. Okay. So
what if we did
Nintendo?
This, Rob? What if we made a game called "If You Say This Game Is Bad, You're Dumb"?
Yeah, but I'm dumb because that's what my dad always called me. So like, hey, dummy, yo, dad.
I know, but a lot of those guys in the video game industry have pretty big egos, and I think they'll be like, "This game is 10 because I'm not dumb."
Yeah. But Tyrant has a question. I see.
Yeah. I want to answer Tyrant's question.
Yeah. Speaking of games, I know Rob has done some work in the industry, but don't know his background. Have you worked in Unreal 5 yet? Been moving project from 4 to 5 and. You've been working on for 2 years. So I'm a concept artist and illustrator, but my buddy is one of the lead Unreal dudes out there. Mm-hmm. Like, that game on PS5? What's it? Kina? It's like a Miyazaki kind of Zelda looking game. It's amazing. He did all the tech for that. He did all the tech for like the Spider-Man VR game. A lot of stuff for Skydance, that Trover versus the World. Like he did a lot of the tech for that.
Skydance, like Project no one's watching. That's what I say.
You remember Sunset Overdrive? Like he did all the tech for that. So he's a big Unreal guy. And as I understand about Unreal 5 is that right now it's unoptimized and bloated. Internally, it's a lot of bloat code. So that's why if you played the Matrix demo, things really get sluggish for no reason. It's just not optimized yet. It's not really ready for prime time. Like loading the game up with a bunch of trees and bushes is not a good idea right now. So I wish that weren't so, because I think it's amazing, but it's got a ways to go.
So we got this little piece here from the Hollywood Reporter, and this is about Adria, I'm not sure. Since wrapping Morbius, or Arjona has joined a few more feathers and has added a few more feathers in her cap. Let's see, wearing my glasses. I can't see shit. She also landed a lead role alongside Diego Luna in Andor, the Mandor, Tony Gilroy's upcoming Rogue One prequel series for Disney Plus. Even though Jonah has auditioned for several Star Wars projects. The nerves never cease. So right before walking into the audition, I looked at Diego Luna and I was shaking. I was like, I am so nervous. And he just put a hand on my shoulder and said, "You got this." And I was like, oh God, I hope so. And then Tony gave me the role in the room, gave me the role in the room. I only did the scene once and he said, "You got the job, my friend. Welcome to Star Wars." Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's what I said.
Don't fucking touch me, perv.
They said, "Hey, can you stay this hot between now and when we start filming? Can you not get ugly between now and then?"
So respective of his co-actors that they do the forced perspective trick, so he never has to be near anyone or touch them during scenes.
Really?
Yeah. No.
Oh.
Fucking...
I was like, what?
No.
Hey, Keanu's a weird guy, dude.
You believe it though, right? It's possible.
Yeah.
Seems plausible.
Yeah. So there were casting rumors back in the day that she is playing Andor's sister. That were like going around when they were like, because they were casting a child and they were casting an adult. So I remember seeing those casting announcements for basically like the same person as a child and as an adult. So we kind of have two stories going on, or two potential stories going on here. It's a spy thriller. So, you're going to have other spies other than Andor. So is she his sister? And it's a story about what happens to them, and losing her. Is she a spy as well? Because that's like the other thing. It's usually in the spy stories, you usually have, provided Cassian is straight. I don't even know Cassian's straight. I mean, all I know is if I was with Jyn Erso at the end of the world, I'd be like, "Hey, so you want to go out and get a soda?" At least.
Turns out he's really into Rhodians.
Yeah, he might not. He might. Wouldn't it be great if Cassian was a gay man? Because he totally could be. But at the same time, he also could this could be like a love interest for him too. It would make sense that you would have the kind of spy who's going to, tempt you and trick you and stuff like
He
that.
shagged me.
Yeah, I mean, it was like if I was Andor and she was my sister, I'll be pretty pissed off. I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
this is bullshit.
Mark Hamill's like, "Amen, brother. Amen."
Yeah, geez,
So I think
the only way
just
he was
explain
going
all
to
those
get a chance
Pornhub
to
videos.
the only way Mark Hamill was going to get a chance to kiss Carrie was if they weren't. Like they got that one time, and then he's like, "Never again."
Yeah. Oh, and just to be clear, I've never seen her in anything at all. I have no idea if she's a good actor or not. I don't mean to say she just got the role because she's hot, but it definitely didn't fucking hurt. It definitely did not hurt.
Well,
but
I was meant to watch Morbius, and then found out I had COVID, so I couldn't watch it. But she's I don't know. She's in Morbius, but apparently that movie stinks. So I don't know if I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, it did.
Some pretty bad reviews.
Yeah, I think I want to say Bespin saw it and said it's not good, but it's not like the reaction to it was maybe a little overblown. Was I think sort of his assessment.
It has the same cinema score. I don't like a lot of ratings, but cinema score is about the easiest fucking way to get a rating on the planet. Like they go to theaters when people come out. Did you like it? Not like it? Like and most people are pretty fucking generous coming out the theater.
Yeah.
It has a C+. That's the same rating as Batman and Robin, and Ghost Rider: Spirits of Vengeance. Like
so they should all be Fs, is what we're saying.
They should be Fs. Yeah. So that's how bad it is.
Yeah. Tyrant says that's actually a fake story. Diego's real words of advice. Tony Gilroy's a piece of fucking shit. You got this. Cassian is into dirt Rhodians. I don't know what that is. But it sounds fucking funny. Dirt Rhodian.
I like it. That should be porn parody at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Anyways. Yeah, so in terms of the layout of the story, once we crack what she is, what the angle on her is. I think that's going to open up a lot of avenues for Cassian, but for understanding what it's even about. But with the trailer coming and likely about a month, I think we'll have to know something by then, right? I mean, I don't really watch a lot of spy movies. It's not like something I pay attention to, so I don't know how do you market mysteries in movies. I'm not really sure how they go about that. Is it just like I don't know who I can trust, and then it shows like the hot girl, and then it's like, here, I thought you were my friend, and then it shows like the hot guy. Is that like all that? You know what I mean? Is that like going to be like the whole gist of the stuff? I don't know.
Steven said that was the basis for Young Sherlock Holmes.
Young Sherlock Holmes. Great CGI. Great CGI moment in that. Early CGI.
Yeah. Or I like to call the original Potter. It's true.
SNL had a Labyrinth callback on it on a joke this week, which I was like, that's super esoteric, but I was like, all right, I'm all about it. Ewan says,
esoteric is also a Star Wars name.
Esoteric, yeah. My name is Esoterica. That's probably her name. Cassian's co-star's name. Given the codename Grammar Rodeo, the series possibly being produced by Favreau, and the Boba post credits. Wait, Boba post credits. There was no Boba post credits, was there?
Yeah.
Of what's his name? Couldn't Grammar Rodeo be about Cobb Vanth and the mods?
Oh Jesus. That would be so horrible.
It's the mods. It's the mods as they're growing up. They're like, we're all 10 years old now. We're getting motorcycles. That would be great. I mean,
oh man, where he teaches them how to like shoot a gun, but they all got guns in their arms and shit, you know. And then one of them does a spin thing and smacks a fucking stop that shit.
I mean, I'm curious about Grammar Rodeo. Like the word is, it's a High Republic, show, and but is it? I mean, if I released that, I would ask that. You know what I mean? Like like here's the thing. When I talk to people about Grammar Rodeo that will be working on Grammar Rodeo, that nobody's saying anything because it's like everybody's still scared. But would they? How would you say it's a High Republic thing to a crew member? How would a crew member ever tell you that without knowing? Oh no, man, it's like a billion years before A New Hope. Then you're like, is it High Republic? Is it an Old Republic? Like you don't know. So it's sort of
give everyone on the set a debriefing on the whole film before they start constructing.
Yeah, the whole
things.
script.
You don't do that, Jason.
Yeah. No. So what I am saying out there is assume it's likely to be a High Republic story, but don't take anything as a given at this point. You remember Disney Plus Day?
Just dawned on me. There's a move to make. It's a move, and it would be first day of shooting. Look, we all know you're gonna leak the shit out of this, so we're gonna tell everyone here what the script is, so none of you can make any money off it. None of you are gonna get any scoops. None of you gonna feel special. You all get to know everything right now. You know, like as it is, we don't give a shit. You know, no one's getting famous off this. They'll get tired of your spoil. They won't even want the news. They're gonna be saying, "There's too much news coming out. Stop spoiling us." Like there's almost
what if Grammar Rodeo is a High Republic show for Disney Plus with child contestants, and it's all about learning how to spell? Wouldn't that be fucking awful?
Ahmed Best is like, no.
Ahmed Best is like, hey, I'll do this one.
I can host.
Misa, do this one.
That's what she said.
Oh, that's my other gripe about Lego Star Wars. No Ahmed Best. No disrespect to the voice actor. But man, like it's really, really occurred to me how fucking like Ahmed Best.
It's his voice.
It's his voice. It's like trying to change Freddie Mercury and Queen. You could tell when it's not Freddie Mercury. You could tell when it's somebody doing their best, but it's not the best. We want the best, Ahmed Best. You fucked up again.
Didn't they
very
have-
similar? Sorry, go ahead.
Didn't somebody else voice him in the Clone Wars? Like,
Was it BJ Hughes for an episode?
I don't know who it was, but
I think it was BJ Hughes. And
a great name.
anybody whose name is Blowjob, I have massive respect for. But as far as I know,
Billie
that-
Jean.
it was also not good. And it's not their fault. Like I said, I don't think this is something where you go like, you fucking suck, man. You fucking ruined Jar Jar. I don't think anybody deserves any of that. It's like C-3PO.
You should make that video, Jason. You should
Oh,
make
and,
that would be the one that sets the channel on fire.
Yeah, I want to be a Rob here. And I say old James Earl Jones all day. Let James Earl Jones be fucking Darth Vader when he has one foot in the grave. But C-3PO, I don't think you should change C-3PO either, but he sounds old. C-3PO does sound.
He sounded old in the last movie.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like it's there's a certain a way that the whiny high end kind of lingers that's different than it used to be. I'll still take it though. It still sounds better than anybody else, but C-3PO, Darth Vader, and Jar Jar Binks, you don't fuck with the voices, is what I say. You know what I mean?
It's Ahmed's voice in the same way that Kermit was Henson's, just his natural speaking voice, just a little bit heightened, right? But so it's very, very hard. You can get someone to come in and kind of do an impersonation, but when you want to get real emoting or any kind of, there's a lot of, it takes a real pro to get there, and few show up,
Well, the people who are doing Jar Jar are also pros. They're actually great. But once again, the problem is nobody sounds like him. It's almost like his singing voice. It's like telling a voice actor. It's like telling a voice actor to sing like Freddie Mercury now, and it just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. So maybe he didn't want to do it, and in which case, my sympathies to them for doing the best that they could. But if they could have got Ahmed Best, they really should have, because I think it doesn't ruin the game for me, but it definitely is distracting for me. And for the record, I kept it to myself. I try not to bum my kids out. I try not to bring any of my critical stuff. My kids noticed it wasn't Jar Jar, and that's when there's
what
a
did
problem
they say?
here. They're all
8.
Yeah, he's 8. He's been waiting for this game for 2 years. That's a long time.
That's so funny.
No, they just said he sounds weird. They just commented on that kind of thing, and I was like, yeah. So, well, it's not the same voice actor, and he's like, yeah. So
they're smart. Kids are smart. They can tell these things.
Yeah. When you're a kid, you either totally know, or you just you know something's off, and you can't put your finger on it. About why it's off. Tyrant says Cobb Vanth and the mods as they grow up, having to constantly use Bacta takes after terrible cyber implants.
Stop giving them ideas about Cobb Vanth and the mods. Everyone stop.
I just want there to be like a crackhead Rodian that goes, I'm a dirt Rodian, do whatever you want to me for credits.
I'm a dirt Rodian.
You can flush my head down the toilet while you do whatever you want to me. I'm a dirt Rodian.
I'm a dirt Rodian.
I like Spice Girls. I like Spice Guys.
I'm about getting Spice Girls. I'm about getting Spice Guys. Dirt Rodian. Yeah.
You know what? When I knew my brother was gay, when he was about 7 years old, and he kept wanting to watch Spice World.
I saw that in the theaters. It's a wholesome entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
You have no heart.
Yeah. No,
it's a wonderful film.
Why would you take that as being a bad thing? I didn't think it was a bad thing.
The look of shame.
I would say to myself, I'm just like, I think those little guys, I think my brother might be a gay. And then
I walked out of the PX. I was in the Army. I walked out of the PX movie theater, and my first sergeant standing there, he already didn't like me. Yeah. And he looks at Spice World, huh? And he just looked at me. I'm a continual letdown to this whole institution. I'm going to go in my room and watch Buffy and draw.
Fuck you. Yeah. You're all, don't ask, don't tell. No, remember that stupid shit?
Jason, yeah.
You were there. You were there for that, right? Like you were there. Like,
I
at the
was
height of
there
that,
for
right?
that.
Yeah. Hey,
So-
Colin Chaos, how's it going?
So let me
Aloha.
ask you guys this: do you think we'll get any announcements of any new projects like Taika Waititi's movie? Do you reckon we'll get an update on that? You know, the animation one. What's that called? That we think it's animation.
A droid. We got
Tales of
Tales of
Jedi.
the Jedi. We got a droid story.
Yeah. Do you think we'll get any updates on these projects?
Boba Fett 2.
Here's the thing is that it would require. I don't think that they're going to go do a panel for it unless they happen to be premiering something like let's premiere a droid story for all these people and not release it and let everybody see it and then just to get word of mouth or something. They could do something weird like that. They did show the pilot for in on-made Star Wars television series at Celebration 5, I want to say. It might have been Celebration 5. And that they just ended up making into a Clone Wars arc of the young Jedi kids. They did test that. So that was Lucasfilm, not Disney Lucasfilm, but so stuff like that has happened before, but I have to say it would require somebody. They would be pulling a real Bespin Bolton / Jason Ward if they were to go and and a droid story if it's not their thing. So I think if they're not working on it, that's the only avenue for somebody who happens to be involved in it at a high level where they can make an executive decision to make Disney mad. So that leaves almost only Jon Favreau to make that slip up, but he's already bringing you updates on Mandalorian probably and stuff like that. So I don't have high hopes. I hope I'm wrong.
Well,
though.
Jason, the code name for Droid Story was Electric Avenue. So,
The what for Droid Story?
Electric Avenue.
No, what what was the Electric Avenue? The original what?
If
Story?
you guys, here's what I'm curious about. If you guys remember back in the day, Bespin Bolton had I think it was when he was just an Instagram account. Back in the day, he had a story about how J.J. Abrams wanted to revitalize droids, which was a weird one.
The cartoon?
Yep. And so I'm kind of curious if a droid story has some Abrams input.
Interesting.
that gets me even more excited. Can't wait.
I could tell.
Well, is it Palpatine's droid or isn't it? I don't know.
Uh-oh.
I could tell.
It's just Dio's story with Ochi the killer.
I mean, it's going to be 2 years now that we haven't had one update on Waititi's movie. Like, I'm starting to doubt that if it's ever going to happen. Like, honestly, if Celebrations, then when? You know, if it's not at Celebration, then when are we going to get some info? Which I don't know.
When?
Maybe overthinking things, but I think it's a bit weird that we're going to the third year with not one single update on the movie.
Well, see, when is Disney going to be fucking legit that these movies take 3 years? George Lucas didn't make up 3 years just because it was fun. If he could have made a Star Wars movie a year, he would have done it. If he could have made one in 2 years, he would have done it.
That's what the Ewoks were for.
The Ewoks were for
that went.
Yeah. But it always takes 3 years to get these things right. It's just
because Star Wars is very similar to animation in that sense. Everything has to sort of be made for Star Wars. You can't just film it like a Marvel show. You can film in apartments. You can go on to if you even go to a location Star Wars, other than Andor, you're gonna have to build something, you know. And that was the big. I mean, people forget the gripe amongst my nerd uncles about that movie was it's just trees. That's it. It's not even like big trees like with the Wookiees where like you'd be imagine. They just thought this is a shot out in their fucking backyard. This shit looks cheap. And I think a lot of people are feeling that way now from seeing Tatooine over and over again in the series, right? Like, so an animated movie takes 4 years to make. You know, if you can cut out some of that time with live action shooting, you end up at the 3 year mark. Like that's it. You know,
I don't believe that yet they are this like crazy about the market, so to speak. But when you have like a Dune film series coming, that is like your biggest competition probably, because it's just going to be a different beast, and what Star Wars can't do, it can do for those people. It makes me wonder if it makes them want to own that desert dunes kind of stuff more or less. Like the more you show it, the more it gets burned out, the more it becomes devalued, the less you care about it. But at the same time, having like the dune look has been Star Wars's for 40 years. Oh, desert, that's Star Wars.
Yeah.
But Bestman Bulletin says Taika's got 11 directorial projects. You should doubt it. In upcoming projects, 11 upcoming projects. You should doubt it. And I think that he's not the sole writer on it for a reason. And I think that writer, I can't remember her name right now, but she's like won Academy Awards and shit. And she's pretty good. Excuse me. She's pretty good. And I have a feeling that she's doing the prep work for that, writing that out, and they're probably having meetings. And
also,
it'll just happen.
They're just starting the marketing for Thor. Like they just did something the other day, and to endlessly have to do this is the same company, so it's like they don't want to have him do Thor marketing and have to talk about Star Wars every fucking press junket. Like, if they're gonna announce anything else, it's gonna be after the marketing for Thor is done and over. Like,
sure,
just wait. You're gonna have to wait at least 12 months for that.
Well, it is. If it had any developments while they're doing the marketing for Thor, we'll likely hear it. If there's any actual like movement, he'll say, "Yeah, we finished the script now," or something like that. But also, when you look at the movies, like what was it, like 2025 and 2027 were the next videos? I mean, movie theatrical releases. 2023, which we are cynical about.
Yep.
And then you got 2025, 2027.
Yeah, so we think it's
so I think he's probably the 2025 film is what I would have to think. I mean, at the end of the day, but at the same time, if it ever makes you guys feel bad, just think of this.
For our next exercise, I would like you to enter me for 30 thrusts. Let's do that 10 times. And continue until I say we're done.
That makes the medicine go down. That's what I say. Yeah.
Meg's reaction yesterday still has me rolling. She was like,
yeah. She's welcome, and that's all thanks to Beth and Bolton once again.
My dog once saw what pizza looked like at his level and just couldn't. His fucking mind exploded. Like it was very similar.
Yeah, but
That's funny.
It's if these movies don't really connect in a really big way, people are just going to be like, we don't fucking want Star Wars movies, though. That's what's kind of weird about this junction in Star Wars history, if you will, is that if the next one comes out and it's a so what movie, but we've had 5 shows that are fantastic that we love, that give us greater depth and are more satisfying to fans, I think it could actually hurt Star Wars as a box office draw. That's why I'm on the train. It needs to be a visual effects masterpiece that pushes things further in some way than what we would expect. We have to have a reason to go like this couldn't have been a Disney Plus series. This needed to be seen on the screen. They have.
This
to
is
do
why
that.
it would have been cool if it were a Mando movie, because then they could really show you the difference between what TV is and what a movie is with the exact same stuff. Like,
and what if Taika's doing that? He's directed an episode of Mando. What if that's where this is going towards? And what if they can't move forward because they need season 3 to come out? Like I'm just saying, what if that is happening?
Well, as I understand it, the majority of Thor and Love and Thunder was done in the volume, right? Like a good deal of it. Like, so this movie's like, it's also technological, I'm of serious interest to see how different it'll look from what we've seen on television. Crawling Chaos is way behind.
It's okay.
The conversation.
Bestman Bolton says he's also directing Tower of Terror for Disney, which is something they're trying to get out as soon as possible. Yeah, they want it out for the like 9/11 anniversary, I guess. Tyrant says multiple factors.
JPEG, man.
JPEG.
Oh my god.
Damn. I'm gonna assume he'll tweet out an apology after they do it.
Not me. I forgot.
No, Chief.
9/11. I forgot. I'm kidding. Tyrant, multiple factors going on. One, it's part Disney needing to regroup multiple times, even Rogue Squadron having issues, and two, also owning Avatar with 4 upcoming movies. 3, needing content for Disney Plus. Yeah,
They're not thinking about Avatar.
you don't think so? You don't think that the in terms of like Lucasfilm could think one thing, but Lucasfilm can think one thing, but when they bring it to Disney to get the actual like authorization to move forward, you don't think Disney ever goes, well, Avatar's doing underwater cheeseburgers, so you guys can't.
I'm the biggest Avatar fan there is. It's the thing I'm looking forward to the most this year. I'm probably going to drive to Seattle to see it in a good theater, 8 hours away. That's how much I care about it. Avatar did jack shit in merchandise when it was big. We had the shirts. We thought for certain something would sell. You know what I mean? Like even the goofy T-shirt, the costume tees or something. It doesn't. It is an experience. It isn't. So they look at money and dollars and return and all the merch and everything else they're going to get out of it. They're not. It's not the same thing. You know. A matter of fact, had Cameron not been the person behind Avatar when Disney bought Fox, I suspect that would have been shelved immediately. If that were any other director. So the only reason why that even exists now is because it's James Cameron, and you don't want that fallout, you know, like. So no, I don't think that has anything to do with it.
Okay, so this is what it's like to be Chris Breezy's buddy since 2017. Chris Breezy sends you this and says, "This is Taika. This is concept art." I don't know what you're talking about right now. Is this from a Star Wars? And where's it from?
First of all, we've been friends from about 2014, 15.
14, 15? Okay. You know what?
That's Smash Brothers on Wii U, Jason. You get it right.
You're right.
I'm thinking production. I'm thinking The Last Jedi's production, so I put it up to 2017. Yeah.
No, it's all right.
Okay.
I forgive you. But when they announced it, they posted this image and the Ben-Hur logo, but we haven't really
they posted this image. I never saw this image. This got
think-
past me.
I've seen this
Luckily, I'm
too.
your friend.
I saw
Luckily,
this
I'm
too.
your friend.
Yeah, I didn't see this. I totally missed this.
It's Tales of Power in space.
Wasn't it in the
You
background,
know, it's got
right, when she was talking
crystals.
about it,
Yeah.
Chris?
No, I think they just tweeted it out with the Ben-Hur looking big ass
Really?
logo. Yeah,
I don't remember the Ben-Hur.
this is
But
like over 2 years old, Jason.
Okay, I either don't forget or
It's got a
either I
lens
forgot
flare, Jason.
or I never saw
Can't you
it.
see?
It
It's
looks
got
like
a
some
lens
more to
flare.
shit. It also looks like it might have been on the side of the van that my mom dated. This guy that my mom dated in the 80s.
It's got some UFO looking shit. Like you love that, don't you?
It's a kyber
Hey.
crystal in space. It's floating out in space. It's a crystal. That's where all the source of all the lightsabers came from. One big jewel in
It looks
space.
fucking awesome. If you
see, I
ask me.
think this is
Jewel's gonna voice the kyber crystals too.
I think. Can you see her?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
Kathleen
was.
Kennedy,
okay.
and then in the
Yeah, yeah,
background.
I fucking
You're
don't
right.
remember this.
Yeah, you're right.
This is I usually remember everything, and I don't remember this one at all. So hey, new to me, but
Cool looking.
also
cool looking visuals.
yeah, yeah. I mean, very Mortisy in some ways, but doesn't say much, right? I'm wondering if that so my take is still, if you're going Ben-Hur, you got slaves and you got combatants in an arena. If you're gonna do a Ben-Hur inspired logo, that's what I think.
Gladiator,
And,
gladiator
It says
fighting
Ben-Hur
something.
like Jules in space.
So, like we're talking about like Jewel, who has the acoustic guitar, and it's like, today I got up and I made myself some toast, and then it wasn't good, but I'm missing you.
Yeah, it
Like
looks
that kind of stuff?
Schoolhouse Rock.
Droid Story.
Jewel font.
Yeah, it looks cool. I mean, like I said, it doesn't
I
it
meant
doesn't
this.
mean anything now, huh?
Yeah,
does
the
it?
font.
Spaceship or a planet or what do we this silver thing? Or like, is it a?
They just made that up, Chris. It has nothing to do with the movie. Watch
No
when this
meaning,
movie
Rob?
comes
There's
out.
no meaning?
It's got nothing to do with it. Yeah, I'll
Filoni's
put
like,
money on that.
Filoni's like, I got real high and I made you this for your movie, and they gave it to him. They're like, yeah, just show that. We'll just show that.
I got Kai power tools, and I've been just fuzzing around with the buttons. What? Come on, it's an oldie but goodie, Jason.
Rob, it means something. Come on. It's constant.
It means you're wasting your fucking time.
That's so hurtful.
I love you.
So
I'm
hurtful.
glad you saved the stuff, but
Thank
it
you.
means nothing.
No, good job for sure. Yeah, because I either, like I said, I probably looked at it when it came out and I was just like, cool, Disney, you're not saying a fucking thing because this doesn't mean anything. Like, it literally, you put two oppositional images together and it's either hilarious or it's not, but I don't get it. So yeah, Bestman says it's also weird having these three movies being not connected. If one really hits with audiences, they're going to have to wait multiple years for a sequel with unconnected films in between.
That sounds like Batman.
Yeah, it does. That is a Batman problem, isn't it? And Star Wars should really get on to like an era in live action, like post sequel trilogy.
Yeah, like Mando. Like that's why their first movie should be Mando. Why they start the next fucking round of stuff. Like it.
Well,
Dude.
well, no, we can't call dumb because we don't know. We don't know if they're not doing that. They may be doing it, but they may be dumb. I will give you that.
Maybe that's the next announcement there. at
Episode,
Celebration.
but the initial stuff about the movie was that it was going to
Hold on.
take place after
Star Wars, Fate of the Mandalorian. You see what I'm saying? Like this is not like they could do anything. $2 billion ends, little S at the end, right? And you'd be like, "Holy shit!" And it's all the Mandos and all. I know the Ben-Hur.
Yeah.
Schoolhouse Rock's also my friend.
That's what I said.
Yeah, it looks like
that's what I was saying.
Schoolhouse Rock's version, but it's definitely
I stole
definitely a riff
Max
on the
and Thunder.
Ben-Hur poster.
Sorry,
No, I said it already, Rob.
but you're already wearing the same eye makeup and lipstick. Like you got the same look. You got the same color scheme going on.
Lips and
Amazing.
eyes. Yeah. See?
Imagine if it turns like into another Star Wars Eclipse thing where it's just awesome trailer, but we never get it. Like I'll be very angry if this is the case.
Well, at a certain I think that there's like two kinds of ways that things go into production here. And the first way is Lucasfilm want to make a movie. They want to capitalize on something. And they want to do Rogue One.
Yeah.
So they're going to hire everybody and we're going to make Rogue One. And that honestly seems like the better way to go about it. The way that they've been going about it is they have a filmmaker who they want to work with who's like, I have my idea. Here's my idea for the movie I will make for you. And then they're kind of like signed into making that director's movie that they want to make. And then when that director backs out or it falls apart or it goes south, then we end up in a weird place before anything is ever filmed, that is. And so it would almost seem like they would be in a better place to start going the Rogue One side of things, to coming up with internally with their really great premise and then bringing in people to develop it. But I put up the poster for Ben-Hur just so that way people can see exactly what this is. And it definitely seems to be playing upon it in its own way.
They did the chariots with episode 1, so if they do Ben-Hur and there's no pod racing, I just don't get it.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the concept of pod racing isn't the only way to do a chariot race, though. I mean, it could literally fucking be a chariot race.
How do you top it for a chariot race?
Yeah. Actual chariots with booster engines on. I don't know.
Look, man, you're getting very close to mod territory here, so just stop it.
Hey, you know what? The mods are a good idea, poorly executed. That's what I will say.
I watched the last 3 episodes last night. Just
How'd it go?
I watched it for Grogu. I had fun.
Yeah. Any new observations?
No, I was just
Okay.
like,
That is the best review I've ever heard of Book of Boba Fett.
I had fun.
Pause. I had fun.
Best Man Bolt is all Mandalorian the movie, directed by Robert Rodriguez. That's what it might as. That's what it might as well be called Mandalorian 4: The Quest for Peace if they were to do that shit. Because that's what that would be. God, Robert Rodriguez. I gotta say, it really let me down though overall.
Yeah.
He did not bring his best to every one of those, and if he thinks he did, then he's lost it, and it's time to retire.
It's a colossal step down from Alita.
It's just a colossal step down from his ability. At the end of the day,
I'm just saying the last thing he did, right? That we're all,
Yeah, I mean, I when I watched some Mando the other day, and I had that Boba's first episode on, and I'm like, you know what? Everything I dislike about Boba Fett is actually in this episode. You just really didn't know yet. It's like an early relationship where you look back and you're like, oh, all the signs were there. Every fucking sign was there the whole time. And I looked at the positive, it was that great scene, that great moment where he meant to shoot the one thing and he hit the other thing, but he blew up both things. Ha ha, destruction, and then you look at it and you're like, oh, look at how cheap this set looks. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is, but something about Robert Rodriguez, he makes any set look cheap. Because when he's not directing, the sets all of a sudden look like they're a lot more expensive than they really are. He's very giving. I don't know.
I actually saw another scene that Max was in on the last
you did?
episode. Yeah. But it was one that wrote
Max,
Noel had
what was his last name?
Garcia.
Max Garcia. Yeah, he was a featured extra who was nice enough to come and share his experience with us on the show a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know I feel bad like talking shit on the movie because I like that guy. He was so nice. And I hate being like, oh, you were in the Star Wars I hate the most. But I don't hate it though. Actually just disappoints me a lot.
Yeah, well,
they're all my babies. I love all my babies, but it is definitely the fucking derpy baby of all of it, Oh, look what Dummy said. Dummy said something. Hey, Dummy. Dummy says, do a canon version of their Heir to the Empire with Jason Momoa as Talon Card and put Ahsoka, Din, Grogu, Thrawn, Luke, Gideon, Ezra, etc. in an easy $1 billion plus. See, that's the thing is it really wouldn't be, man. I hate to be that guy, you dummy, but it's just really not. It's just really like it would just be really. It's a fine book for 1991. It just does not really like.
It's also where
make a good film.
Thrawn is a character who is suited better to episodic television. He's a thinking person. You put him in a movie like that, and then the minute he makes one bad move in the span of 2 hours, you go, "Oh, he's a fucking idiot."
Well,
you don't have the time.
Are you daring me to get real right now?
Yes.
Are you daring me?
Get real.
I know you hate it, so
are you daring me though? Nobody fucking read those books. Towards the back end, it did over the years. A lot of people did read Heir to the Empire, and there is that. The fans like it, but those books were selling so fucking low. I cannot tell you how little copies those canon book or not, sorry, expanded universe / legends books were selling back then.
Mm-hmm.
It died on its own. Disney didn't kill it. It died. Like that's the.
I think I read the truth. I think I only read the first 2 books.
Oh, well, I didn't kill Chewbacca in those books.
But you end up with something that literally killed itself before it was ever able to jump to screen, and this is still a road to nowhere. Disney Star Wars for some is a road to nowhere, anyways. Either way they cut it, but at the end of the day, that's what it ends up. It ends up going nowhere. And it ends up dying on its own, and it's not like they can keep that going. So why would you jump on a train where the track literally ends into a void of nothing?
Look, I'm not giving my opinion
unless it's a DeLorean. Sorry.
I would like to see as a fan. I'm saying you have world mass market approval of Grogu and the Mandalorian. Like, it's undeniable.
Undeniable.
We haven't seen anything that big. I mean, it's like Furby shit. You know what I mean? Like Tickle Me Elmo stuff. We haven't seen anything like that since maybe when the Pokemon got their own. I know. Pokemon got their own video game, right? That was like a big cultural phenomenon. So it's like, if you're gonna take Star Wars to this big screen and ask people to fucking leave their homes and go see that shit, you got to give them something they already fucking love.
Yeah.
You know? Like that's it. And they got a bad guy and fucking Gideon, and they got a bunch of shit they can use, you know.
They can bring Cara Dune back in.
That giant torn up Mando planet and everything. Like they got a bunch of shit they could do. Like it's and that would be a place to introduce a new actor for that role.
Wait. Did you say they could bring Cara Dune back in? They?
Yeah.
She just quit again. She just quit.
The Illuminatis.
You said they. You said they. It's over.
I said Karen Dune.
Oh, Karen Dune. Okay.
They can bring Karen Dune.
Oh, Karen Dune. Yeah.
With the Q.
Yeah.
She'll ask to see the Disney manager for sure. No, Eric's all the Rise of Skywalker is also a derby baby. Yeah, it is. It is. Those are my two Star Wars letdowns, you know. Rise of Skywalker and Book of Boba Fett. But I still love them. Still love parts about him.
Absolutely.
You know, there's just our balls that were dropped and the voice didn't get deeper. You know, that's what I'd say about him.
Yeah.
Bestman says those new Thrawn books were absolutely ass. That's where I both am intrigued and like, my buddy Star Wars Santa, I believe he enjoyed them, but he will analyze Star Wars based off of the psychology of what the Thrawn books did with Thrawn. And I'm always the jerk who asks him, but did anyone tell Filoni about that? Did Filoni read those books and does Filoni like them and does he care? And Filoni usually
That's
tries.
Why I ask myself, does Filoni care?
Does Filoni care? Let's get Filonius. He said it
I want a peanut butter Jelonius.
Yeah, I mean, well, because they make Thrawn into an anti-hero, like a guy who's doing right for his people, sometimes doing the wrong thing for the right reasons, kind of story. And but
thank
at the
you,
end of
Marvel Comics, for starting that shit in the 90s.
Oh, I blame Darth Vader too, but they definitely like set that up. But at the same time, Rebels has him like, get those kids. He's basically like the 80s villain, you know. Do boys, you know.
You mean from the Scooby Doo?
Yeah, they're just like he's like Boss Hogg. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they're doing it again. Those Star Wars Rebels, Space Aladdin, you motherfucker. You know,
it would have been great because James Gunn directed those Scooby Doo movies, and there's a world where he did the R-rated version where get them kids, and the guy like just tries to he's murdering children and shit. You know, like the Scooby Doo villains, like a real violent version of that Scooby Doo.
Yeah, but I mean, so we already have a confused depiction of Thrawn from text to screen. So I really think Filoni finds himself in a position of, oh, well, just do whatever I want.
Yeah.
When you already have basically two different depictions of him, and the depiction of him is already a little bit stupid. I'm of the opinion that it's like, I have the Kalakiri. I know everything about your culture, and you based off of this one thing. It's just like, cool.
Well, my other idea was to make my own version, but he was like a lobster, and I'm gonna call him Prawn. So he's like a smart lobster.
Remember the prawn from Solo: A Star Wars Story that with the fist? What was his name?
Therm Scissor Punch.
Therm Scissor Punch is the best. Is underloved.
I love him.
We need to start. We need to start a campaign for Scissor Punch in Mando or no Mando. Cancel Mando if Therm Scissor Punch doesn't have a role. That's who we should. That's fuck this Solo 2 bullshit. You know, oh, that's my online identity. It makes Solo 2 happen. No, Therm Scissor Punch or nothing. That's what I say.
There's the shirt, my friend.
Yeah.
Therm Scissor Punch or nothing.
Therm Strongman. What was his name? Strawman? Therm Strawman. What was that guy's name? That
Don't
fucking
put
old
Thom Strowman.
Thom Strowman Scissor Punch.
The old ass.
That old fucking piece of shit.
Yeah,
that sounds like Donkey Punch.
Yeah. Didn't he have wasn't it also weird? Doesn't he have like black children or something too? It turns out he's just like all over the place.
All slave owners do, Jason.
That's true.
Oh,
that's true.
No love for Thom Strowman.
Yes. People wanted to call him Thrawn Strong Bad. Remember Strong Bad? I love.
Yeah.
Remember the cheat. He was great.
My second favorite internet cartoon in the early 2000s. My first, before I knew who Chris Felucci was The Adventures of George Liquor. The goddamn George Liquor program was fucking amazing.
George Lucas?
.com. No, the goddamn George Liquor program. George
Liquor
Liquor was a character. Liquor, Liqu. He was the guy on Ren and Stimpy that got him fired and banned. Essentially, it's this guy named George Liquor who hires Ren and Stimpy to be in fights. There's a whole pet fighting thing, but they're like boxing, and it turns into Raging Bull, where they gotta fight him in the ring. It's crazy.
You idiot!
It's trying.
There you go, Chris. That's the one. Strom Thurmond. Sorry, Tom Strom Thurmond. I'm dyslexic, Eric.
Tyrant says Jason Momoa is the modern Dolph Lundgren. If we were in the golden age of action movies, it would be D tier. Yeah,
he would also be in Bigger Showdown in Little Tokyo.
You know, I gotta say, whenever we tried to make like the connections between like 80s action heroes and today, it just doesn't work. Like Star Wars Legends died, you know, it doesn't work, unfortunately. Dummy says, I'm not an EU guy, never read Heir to the Empire in any of the books, but the EU sold millions of books. Yeah, it sold it doesn't mean that people walked away happy, and it doesn't mean, I mean, like I said, I'm trying to like look at it from the corporation's perspective, not if somebody wants it either. Like I think that it would have the illusion of being, oh my God, they're giving fans what they want. No, they're giving people who throw fits what they want, not actual.
Don't want to see another Skywalker driven movie, and you do Heir to the Empire. Now you got to have CGI Luke being give someone else to root for. We got to move.
Yeah. Well,
you can do that in a series. If you're gonna drag people out to a theater, I'm fine with the series. You want to do that in the series, fine. But in the theater, we're just back to now. Hey, it sets a bad precedent, man. You know, so why don't we just CGI Michael Keaton and only do Michael Keaton Batman movies forever, right? Right, Jason?
That's where I'm coming from. But you have to ask.
You
have to ask. What makes Star Wars fans feel like this?
I'm horny. Who cares?
And it's Kylo coming back. Kylo coming back would have as many benefits as doing Heir to the Empire. It would have the resurrection of Kylo would literally be the bang for the buck, and they wouldn't have to rewrite canon and be like Superman and make the world go around backwards to make it make sense and happen. They would just be able to be like, we're doing this.
Haven't we done that story already? Haven't we? Like, can't we progress to something else?
What story? Wait, Heir to the Empire?
No, like the whole Kylo story, the Rey story. Like, we know they're going to come back, but what about new characters, new locations, new planets, new bad guys, new Jedi? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the problem is that when they like Mando season 1, I was going through my comments today.
That was great. Yeah, Mando season 1 was great.
But there are people fighting with me, against me, and for me about Arvala 7 and Tatooine. There's people telling me that was Tatooine. You're an idiot. Wow. There's people telling me that's Arvala 7. You're an idiot. Like all kinds. You know what I mean? Like, and
were they saying it like this? You idiot.
Almost. But
is that from Ren and Stimpy?
Yeah.
But the point is that when they give us a new planet and it looks exactly like the old planet, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Like when you make Jakku when it could have been Tatooine, who fucking cares? At that point, it's a gesture in name only that they're going out on a limb and doing anything different. Like JJ was like, hey, I know if I call Tatooine Jakku in this movie, they won't realize I'm making the same movie again. Like that's
why I believe, I don't care if it's Mando or not, I believe the only way forward for theatrical Star Wars is to start a story on the TV side to get everyone on board and carry it into the films. I just think, because otherwise you have to then do a time, and you're not going to get any time to know any of them, and then you got to be told it's the greatest fucking movie ever. If it doesn't do $1 billion, it's somehow a failure. Like, you know what I mean? There's all these weird fucking things. or you're doing endless sequels to movies you already made, and then we're just going to be living back in that bubble of, well, they won't, they Kylo Ren, da, da, da. Like, it's just, you got to get out of that loop. It's a vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle.
Speaking of Kylo Ren, have any of you guys seen The Last Duel?
Yeah, that movie was fucked up.
Yeah,
Last
I watched
what?
that today. I watched that today, and I was like, this is a dark fucking movie, man. Like, I don't see anyone rewatching this. Like, I'm done. Like, as soon as I finish this movie, like, I hope I never see this again. That was some dark shit, man. Fuck.
My dad was like, "Hey, you want to get together tonight and have dinner and watch a movie with me?" And I was like, "Sure, Dad."
Yeah.
So we go and we get our Mexican food. We come back home. I'm like looking for a movie to put on.
Yeah.
And I see that one and I think, oh, it's an action movie with fucking Ben Affleck's little buddy and Kylo Ren, and they got swords. He'll like this. So I put that on, and
wow.
I was actually texting Rob during it, and I'm like, at first I'm like, oh shit, I think Kylo Ren's gonna try to cuck Ben Affleck's little buddy in this. I think this is where this is going, and then it goes so dark, and I was like, oh shit, I'm like, I literally regret making that joke because of where it goes. It's a fucked up movie.
Which movie?
The Last Duel.
Okay.
It's not the feel good winner that The Green Knight is.
No.
Comparatively.
No, it's
yeah.
And I still can't believe Green Knight didn't get nominated. That's why I don't care about awards. EU has a lot of fans. I'm not one of them, but EU was there for so long. I don't care either way. Yeah, but that's my point. Is by the end of the EU, the books were selling in the thousands, not the tens of thousands, the thousands. There were some of those books at the end were abysmal. Like, it was truly over.
OVA.
Well, I'm going to be honest. Sorry.
No,
you spoke first, Max. Go ahead.
No, she was just rapping some spelling words for Grammar Rodeo.
Yep. They also got real abysmal right around the episode 1 time, and I'm not saying that's the quality of the book. I'm saying that they were abysmal kind of before that, but the
are you talking about quality? You're talking about quality or sales?
Sales on those and quality of both on those books were on the downtrend, and when the backlash to episode 1's marketing came through, them books got hit first.
Yeah.
It was the first wave to take the boosh. Like,
so
people weren't buying nothing.
What I had a source in publishing like a few years ago who like told me a lot. They've since moved on, but she was really knowledgeable about everything. We're still friends. She's pretty helpful with when I talk about the narrative structure of things. Does this make sense? Would they do this? Really good person to ask, usually, because this person just knows everything about storytelling. And but anyways, was involved with Star Wars back then, and said that it was so bad that they were just going to redo. So they were just going to scrap. They were just going to stop it, or they were just going to scratch it and start over on it with something new. And so like it's like that's what's always been kind of frustrating about like the legend side of things, is that it went through 2 different publishers. It went through all these changes. It was never consistent. It was never canon. And then, so the idea, but when you hear people that there are people that are very passionate about it, but it's like their little world and they love it. And I am in no way trying to take that from like, I feel like for them, it's like if Clone Wars was erased, I would be as mad as they are inside. But I'm glad that they didn't erase Clone Wars, but I'm also, when they canceled it, I understood where they were at. Like, you could just kind of grow up a little bit and go like, this is where they're at. This is where the world is. And I got to accept it, even if I don't like it. But those stories ultimately, there's just other doing Heir to the Empire. Number one, though, what it would also do is be like, we're doing Heir to the Empire for you. And we're changing 90% of it because it's a fucking book with no structure for a film. So, we're doing that to you, and by the end of it, everyone's mad at it anyway. So
why are you feeling too sad about Leia protecting her kid when eventually she's going to murder the whole galaxy anyway? It's real tough
because they kiss at the end. They kiss at the end.
The thing to do with those EU books would have been to
leave Raylo out of your mouth. You leave Raylo out of your mouth. Out of your mouth.
the last book in which Mara and Luke get married, they should have just made that the last EU book and say we're going to relaunch it after this. You know, like make it a big deal. Could have cashed in all them tokens.
Or how about this?
Put it.
They get married, and then they like we're starting over, but we're starting over in the future, and it's just that she's now divorced him and taken half of everything he owns, and there is no Jedi Temple. What are we gonna do?
Jason is my favorite Jason.
What are we gonna do? Hey, that's George, man.
Really,
that's what George
really
would have done.
You're older now. By the time my dad was your age, he'd already been divorced 3 times, and just like, he's like, I get the 4th one free, Rob. Like,
Hey.
all right, Dad. Love that joke.
Hey,
Love that joke.
I got similar goals. You know, never, ever, ever. Never, I'm not gonna say it, but it was funny. Trust me, it was funny though. But
me and my homies are waiting for the second one, Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric says, yeah, it's true. Big old racist with biracial kid. Yeah. And in no way am I trying to say, oh, this person, I'm not trying to do that argument of, oh, this person would sleep with this race, therefore they're not racist. I was in anthropology, and trust me, a lot of racist anthropologists have a lot of kids out there, and they were really racist back in the day. Eric Denton says, I remember being a senior in high school reading Heir to the Empire with a buddy, and our reaction was that Picard, what is this shit meme? Yeah.
Oh, stop it.
Well, I read it when it came out. I was about, I want to say I was about 9 years old, 8 years old. Like I said, I think it was the first hardback book. Heir to the Empire. I'll go with what release date?
91.
Yeah, but what was the actual release date? Was it like in April?
90.
May 1st, 1991. So 5 months in. So I'm about 9. I think I'm 9, about to turn 10. And I buy that book. It's one of the first books like I ever read. And I sat there and I'm reading it. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to read this book. I start seeing the stuff with the ghost of Obi-Wan. And I'm like, ooh, like that was my reaction, was, ooh, ghost of Obi-Wan. And then we get to the Yel Samiri. And I'm just like, what the fuck did you just do? You just shit the bed right now, Timothy.
Great
Zahn.
idea, dumb name.
It's a bad idea.
Good idea, dumb name. No, good idea.
You cannot have a galaxy where it is this all-encompassing force that
Can't
binds
be a
the
normal
galaxy.
thing. Can't be a normal thing, but good idea.
But space ferrets could stop it, or whatever the fuck they were. I mean,
bro, your cartoon you love so much has space whales and time travel, so I don't want to hear fucking shit about it.
I don't love that.
I don't want to hear anything about it.
No,
I don't want to hear anything about it.
no,
Space whales,
that's
time
Rebels.
travel, and fucking weird
Rebels.
ethereal wolves and
I'm
shit.
a Clone
so I don't want
Wars
to hear
guy.
nothing about the
Clone
Yuzlamari, the little baby shrimp who can stop the force being a problem.
No, that's I think it's a stupid.
Should have called them
concept.
midi-chlorians.
The only thing that would have made it work is if Luke overcame it.
Yeah, well, that was the thing, is they didn't. Is that the Last Command is not a great ending to those 3 books.
Yeah.
Timothy Zahn definitely is a J.J. Abrams in that way. He didn't do the set piece in Dark Force Rising with the Dreadnought battle was pretty cool. I mean, I'd say Battlestar Galactica like type battle, not like a Star Wars battle. But the Last Command, like, he should have overcame that, and there should have been something like the Mara, his fight. It's just, I almost feel like the rules get in the way of the story sometimes. Like there's a lot of, I can't do this, so I gotta, and then it just happens. And look, the whole Palpatine thing in her head, we've seen that play out on screen with Rey. It's not great.
No, it doesn't work.
Not great.
They're calling chaos. Question is, can you actually make a hit Star Wars movie with new characters in a different era and have zero ties to Skywalkers? If you can't, then I think Star Wars is about to die. No, I completely think it can. I think Mandalorian, even though it did, I will say I love the Luke Skywalker stuff in Mando and Boba, but it's a bit cheap. It's a bit of, what do we do? Oh, that's what we can do. We did it. It's a get out of jail free card for difficult moments in a story. And so I believe that if they can completely, totally can. but it would require an investment, and it would require taking a little bit of criticism on the chin for a time. People going, I don't know if I care about this, and going like, so what, and to keep doing it until people got to invest. That's one of the lessons about the prequels, and they have the numbers and I don't, but one of the things about the prequels, what people don't realize is that there were a bunch of Ain't It Cool News aged cats that were jumping ship, talking about how Lord of the Rings and fucking Matrix put new hair on their balls and they hate this shit. Like that was what they completely what they miss is that yet the prequels brought in a whole new audience, an audience that discovered it, engaged with it, and those movies did perfectly fucking fine thanks to the new audience that it grew. Had it not offended those people, it would have been even bigger though. But there are times when they have to do something like that, when they have to go, you know what? This isn't going to give us $1 billion today, but it's going to give us $1 billion tomorrow. They got to plant those seeds at times. And
Also, if they launch that on the streaming side and then carry it to a film, they can gauge that pretty well. That's their magic. That's the thing they can do ahead of time of, like, Marvel's starting to do it now. Like Moon Knight's the first original property being launched on Disney Plus, Yeah. And the numbers on Moon Knight are bigger than WandaVision and fucking Falcon, and it's like the highest whatever they've done so far at the Marvel side. So that will then eventually, I don't care what anyone says, he's not tied to a movie. He's gonna end up in a movie. All right. So that's where they can do it.
But
if it were
sorry to cut you off, Rob. We all agree that there will be a Mando movie sooner.
I do not agree that. I think they're just wacky enough to never do it.
Wow.
I have a photo Chancellor Valorum on Lucasfilm, regardless of who's running the show. There's a mind think there that extends beyond whoever's CEO. There's I don't know. There's a lot of people that have been there a long time, and that sort of thinking, like, it seems the most obvious, shouldn't we? But I could easily see where they just never do it. So
I thought when it was announced that it would all culminate to a big, Mando, like a Mando, Ahsoka.
Yeah.
They're all going to team up for a big movie, like their own series. They're all going to merge into one big movie. Or have I got that wrong?
Yeah, I would not plan on that.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Jason?
No.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm looking up that thing right now about from Variety, and it says, as for Pascal, the actor would love to make a Mandalorian movie, but he's heard no discussion as of one of now. And he goes on to say, it's weird because it's Pedro Pascal, but I think that the work is so beautiful that I would love for that to be held by a big screen experience, he said. But it seems to work so well that I'm also not sure it's something I would want corrupted by any kind of change, I mean, I know that the challenge can be met. It's not like these people don't have the experience. If anybody can do it, they can. But I don't see them even broaching that with the trades unless it was something that he actually wanted. You know what I mean? I think if he didn't want to be like, no, we can't do it. And so I wouldn't be surprised if two things will bring about a Mando movie. The first is Favreau wants it, or Pedro wants it.
And he makes the most sense, given he's already made Disney how many billions at the box office between his last two Disney films? That's just his last two. Yeah. Did Lion King and Jungle Book have netted what, 3 billion? 3 billion alone to be used?
2.8.
Yeah. Yeah. He's used to pushing technology, so he would do a giant technological based, event. He knows how to launch. He helped launch Iron Man in the theaters, so that could help revive the theatrical side. So
yeah,
and if he came out on stage at Celebration and was like, after season 3, we're doing the movie, if I'm going to direct, that would be the greatest announcement, and you'd see their fucking stock triple.
Oh shit!
Joel says, I love Yelsamiri and Purkles. I will say, I hate Yelsamiri, and I'm pretty ambivalent about Purkles. It's actually like, it makes sense that you would have some kind of weird creature, and that's how they cracked it in the Star Wars lore. If they want to go there, it was fine for what it was. But something that just the Force is just like, I don't know. It just going against that in Star Wars is such a dumb idea to me. It's like literally, it's, you know what
right
I mean?
out of
It's-
Lucas. If you've read
I have.
Spoilers in the Mind's Eye, it's
I have.
right out
It's-
that
it's
fucking
not-
alley.
It's not a movie that the original
got
story
a
of
dumb
Star
name.
Wars was the Kyber crystal amplified the Force, gave you superpowers.
Well, I
And
wanted
George
to call it
Lucas-
the Dark Crystals, but fucking
Yeah.
Kurtz ruined it. You know. Him and
Are y'all gonna
Henson.
start wrestling?
But Lucas figured it out. He's like, that's a bad idea. I should.
Jason and I are not competitors. We're more like the Bushwhackers, where we just fight each other in the middle of the match.
We
And
want that
lose.
death.
Yeah, we lose by default because we can't focus.
No, we always team up at the end, though. We always team back up even if we lose.
Yeah, but at the end we're cool. I lick his head, he licks my bald head. You know.
I thought you were gonna say something else.
No, I know, Max. Come on, it's a kid.
No,
show.
I thought. No, it's not. Shit.
I told you. Oh God. We gotta do it. We gotta do it.
That's classic. That's gold.
It's perfect.
Well, I just noticed we are 15 minutes past the time. I didn't even realize
We
it.
gotta eat, Jason.
We gotta
Hungry.
eat. I'm all hopped up on coffee still. Saying all kinds of things.
I'm like,
never gonna-
coffee. The cup is empty. The cup is empty.
Have you guys seen episode 2 of Moon Knight yet?
No, I'm gonna watch that
No.
tonight.
Yeah, it's good.
It was
like
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually watched the first the first time I watched it. I didn't like it that much. And I was talking to Bestman about it. I was pretty hard on it, and I watched it again, and I
Feeds him
thought,
with the cupcake. It's so
yeah,
good.
when I watched it the second time, I liked it a lot more. I don't know why that was. I just had a better experience with it the second time.
Yeah.
And
Before you leave, what I
yeah.
love about it is that they're doing the shows for origin stories and not giving us a movie where we have to sit through that fucking origin story. And
Yeah.
Eternals is a great example of that. It's not bad. It's just we're tired of origin story movies. You know, we're all just gonna get to learn the thing and know who everyone is, and they're tough, but at the end to get through it, like, oh, I want to, you know, it's better the TV show format, the origin shit. It's more digestible.
right. Well, we will see how it goes tonight. I'll talk about it tomorrow. And you've already seen it, Rob?
No, I'll watch it tonight.
I
All
might
right.
check it out.
I had to get up.
Both of
I
them.
told you I would normally watch that stuff in the morning when I wake up now at 4, but I had to go to the DMV.
I think you guys
Okay.
will enjoy episode 2.
Yeah. But tomorrow we'll spend a little time talking about it.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks to Videocraft for Chris Breezy and the Hootie Tootie Disco Cutie, Disco Bitch, Max, for hanging out with us today.
Nintendo, Genesis, and 64.
Thanks to everyone who is a channel member or a Patreon supporter, where you can get audio versions of the show if you have 2 hours where you can't watch video but would still want to hear the show. And we'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time talking about Star Wars. And have a good evening.
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
You know you should go.
Come on, let's go.
It's not about spaceships.